Hello, this is Kathy with Duality Unfolding. So I have a general and all signs reading for this full moon in Sagittarius. So, as you can see, we have two cards here, one for Temperance, which is the card for Sagittarius in the tarot, and then this Sagittarius card with the number 9 because it represents the ninth house. So, what I'm going to do, what I'm going to offer you today, what I invite you to join me for today in celebration of the full moon in Sagittarius that will be happening on May 24th, 2024. Is to be here for whatever part feels right for you. So the first part of this, I'm going to talk about some of the general energies. They are related to the astrological transits that are happening right now. I'm not going to talk about the astrology in depth because that is not my area of expertise, but I will link a video to a full moon Sagittarius astrology kind of I don't want to say a reading, but it's like an overview from an astrologer named Molly McCord, who I've learned so much astrology from her. I've been following her through her podcast since 2018, and she does new moon and full moon videos where she goes over the chart, but she, even if you're not familiar with astrology, she discusses it in a way that is very easy to understand, even if you don't understand like the energy of the planets or what the signs are connected to, or the transits or any of that astrological language. She's able to explain things in a way that makes sense if you are someone that is already kind of in tune with like different energies that are happening. So we'll talk about those energies, and that's really what is kind of in the collective right now as we're heading into this full moon. So that will be kind of the energetic overview. And then I'm going to pull some tarot cards for just kind of a general reading for the collective, like just some general tarot messages, whatever spirit wants to give the collective that wants to participate in that part of the reading. And then I will go through and I'll do a little mini reading for each sign. So I have these Barbie Aries zodiac cards. So there's a card for every sign. So I'll put your sign up, and then I will do, I'll pull a tarot card, a Moonology Oracle card, and then a Star Codes Astro Oracle card. And we'll just see for you, however you identify with that sign, whether it's your sun, moon, rising, Venus, Mercury, Mars, North Node, however you want to watch that. If you want to watch for someone else that is a particular sign, you are welcome to do that. But we'll look at those specific energies for the 12 signs. So I hope that makes sense. I'm very excited, which is why I'm talking very fast. So if it's too fast, there's this little feature on YouTube where you can slow down the voice. Like you can do it half speed, or if it's not fast enough, you could speed it up. My ears don't work that quickly, but maybe yours do. So yeah, first of all, I want to say thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for being here. Thanks for clicking on this video. Welcome or welcome back if you are a subscriber. So thank you for joining me. So let's get into the energy of this full moon in Sagittarius. So this first card that we have, as I mentioned, is for Sagittarius. This is the Temperance card, and Temperance is associated with patience, which is not really something that we think of. Like if you're familiar with some of the characteristics of the signs, Sagittarius isn't necessarily the first sign that comes to mind when we think of patience, at least not for me. I think because Sagittarius is a fire sign. Also, it's the archer, so it's about forward movement, like forward progression. But when we think about like the amount of time, practice, skill, understanding that goes into learning archery, patience really makes sense, right? Because I mean, anybody could take a bow and arrow, right? You can hold onto the bow and like pull the arrow back and just kind of let it launch. But is that really a good idea? Like, is that safe? Is there any kind of, I don't know, like after effect with like the bow, right? When you pluck the string and you let it go, if it's too close to your face, is it going to snap you in the face? If you don't know what you're doing, can you hurt yourself? You know, if you are not aware of the mechanics and the physics of how far an arrow can go or which direction it's going, or even where people are that are in the direction of where you're shooting your arrow, but you can't see, like this can be kind of reckless and dangerous, right? And so, you know, this patience energy, like this intentionality, I feel like it really makes sense that the Temperance card was chosen. The Temperance card is also about balance. We can see, you know, the moon and the sun here, and this angel is holding both. In the traditional tarot, the Temperance angel is, you know, their wings are very prominent. Here we've got almost like an earth angel, right? We've got this person that, you know, they have a tattoo, they got some boots on and like kind of a little bit of a dirty shirt. This maybe isn't someone that we would typically think of as like an angel, right? And so I feel like that's the beauty of this card, is really kind of the dichotomy of it, that regardless of how we appear to other people, you know, like when we are operating in our truth, in our essence, like we are who we are, right? This person doesn't need to be in white robes. They don't need for their feathers and their wings to literally be physically coming out of their back for them to, you know, embody this energy of being an angel. It's got this like light above the head, and we can see, you know, we can see these wings. So the energy of Sagittarius is, you know, about faith, you know, spirituality, also dogma, right? Two sides of the same coin, like faith and spirituality, and then like dogma and religion, like kind of rules, like what is right and what isn't right, as well as kind of the way that like ethics are really this gray space, you know, that like ethics are difficult for people because your ethics are determined by kind of what your values are, right? That if like you value community, then the ethical decisions that you make are going to be based on what is best for that community. If you value order and structure, then the ethics, you know, the ethical decisions you make are going to follow what aligns with rules that can be carried out, right? Laws that can come from these decisions. So there's a lot of kind of duality, dichotomy, like two sides of the same coin here, just like, you know, light in our physical world. We can have light from the moonlight and we can have light from the sun. So just a little bit of, you know, kind of that energy for you to maybe see if it connects, like tap into, kind of look at yourself and your, you know, your own energy and like the ways that it is, you know, sometimes two different things at once, like that we all have this duality inside of us. And, you know, the universe gives us these opportunities to witness it, be with it, and allow it to really kind of unfold, so that we can enjoy like this full experience of being human, which you know, can be very contradictory sometimes, but then also like really amazing. So that's that first part, which is this Temperance Sagittarius energy. Next, we have this World card, which is completions, and the Six of Wands, which is success and celebration. So full moons are about kind of culminations, like closing out a period. Like when we think about the new moon, is the start of that moon cycle, the 28-day cycle, and then it goes through, you know, all the different phases of the moon to the full moon, where it's almost like the moon is really kind of showing itself more and more to us over that 28-day cycle until it becomes its most full. And so energetically, we associate full moons with a time of completion. The World card is, it is the completion of the cycle. Like we can see here, it's a little difficult to see. We've got the snake here that's kind of eating its own tail and it's going around. You know, this energy is never ending. It's cyclical. We're always completing and beginning and like ending and beginning. And this person coming through this circle, coming through this cycle, there's this celebration, right? Because it's when we complete things, there's some joy in that. Even if it's that we're completing something that's really difficult, there's the joy of like being done with it, of, you know, the things that we have gained from that experience, like the lessons that we've learned. And then the really positive things, you know, when we complete something like a job interview and we get hired, or we complete a program and we get a certificate, or, you know, like a mother or even parents like completing like the childbirth process, and the baby goes from being inside the mother's body to outside and like physical, and, you know, like it gets to hang out with both parents in this very like tangible 3D way. Some of these things are just like really amazing and celebratory. In numerology, 2 + 1 would reduce down to 3, and 3 makes me think of three of Cups, which is a card of celebration. So in this, you know, full moon Sagittarius energy, we've got this culmination, this ending. And then we've also got the 6 of Wands, which is about celebration. So to me, this really feels like graduation energy, because there's this element of recognition that, you know, we've come through a kind of difficult cycle. Like many of us have been just going through like a lot of endings in our own ways. You know, like some of us have had ego deaths where there's a part of us that we struggled to let go of, but it wasn't serving us anymore. Almost like it feels like, you know how like sometimes kids will have like a security blanket, or like, you know, a baby blanket, and mine was a pillowcase. I didn't have a blanket, but like I chose a pillowcase. I don't know why, but you know, it's like this comfort thing. It's a tactile comfort, right? So, like I used to, when I was little, I sucked my thumb and I would just kind of rub this like satin pillowcase, and it was purple. And so, you know, when kids have these things for a long time, like it gets like worn down and it gets worn away. And like, if you've ever seen like pictures of people's like baby blanket, but it's like this little square that's left, right? Because they have had it for so long, and like oh, that was Ben. Ben says he did not have a baby blanket. So maybe do you want me to crochet you one later? Okay, I'll get right on that after we're done, buddy. Everyone, Ben, everyone. But like it'll get worn down to like almost nothing, but the person still has it, because it's almost like the comfort of it has become like this crutch, right? And over time, like it starts to dissolve, and eventually it's just gonna be gone, you know. And really, like, how many years would it take for, let's say, a pillowcase to get rubbed down to nothing? Like years, right? And at that point, like, we don't need it anymore, but the value of it comes from our belief that that is how we receive comfort, that is what brings us safety. And so I think a lot of us, you know, have been releasing beliefs around the things that we thought we needed, or who we thought we were, or like what we thought we wanted. And again, Sagittarius is, you know, it rules the 9th house, which is the house of spirituality and beliefs, you know. So this is all kind of, it's this culmination, which I feel like is really like the magic of astrology. And like, yeah, I feel like you can't make this stuff up, right? It's like this divine timing. So, you know, we are really kind of closing out this chapter of just really big lessons, like big growth, big changes. And, you know, this full moon in Sagittarius is bringing this energy of like graduation and recognition, right? When we think about like, and this is even graduation season, right? So you have your graduates, and they are dressed differently than everybody else. Their name gets announced. They get called onto a stage. Like someone takes a photo, someone's giving them a certificate that is only for them based on the work that they have done. So this is very much an energy of like, you've completed something, and now you are getting individual recognition for what you have done from the universe, from God's source spirit. although I can't make you any promises that the universe is going to send you a certificate for like those 17 ego deaths that you've had over however many years. But if I could, I would send you gold star stickers. If you would like gold star stickers, send me your address. I will order stickers for you and send them to your house, or your PO box, whatever, your choice. Okay, so the next kind of round of energy that we have is it's some of the Taurus energy, and let me just organize these. It's the Taurus in Venus energy, and I believe Venus is going to move into Gemini pretty soon. But there's Taurus, Jupiter, Uranus, other things I'm probably forgetting that are in Taurus right now. But the Empress is the tarot card that represents Taurus, and Taurus rules the second house, and the second house is about receiving, like what we the money that is for us, like the money that we earn, the beauty, the value, like how we receive messages of our worth. And I feel like this depiction of the Empress as this pregnant, almost like Gaia, this like Mother Earth, like with the full moon. Come on, I can't. It's just this really perfect depiction of what it means to receive. Because when we think about like the not the anatomy of a pregnancy, but when we think about the mechanics of how, a woman gets pregnant, like she has to receive the man. And her body has to receive, the sperm, and like the eggs have to receive that sperm. The uterus has to receive those, eggs. And then from there, like the process of the pregnancy, like it's all about receiving. So it's like, there's not a point where the mom is like, okay, at 2 p.m. tomorrow, I need to really focus on growing the 10 toes of the baby. So I please don't pencil me in for anything. Like it doesn't work that way, right? Like the body, the magic of the body, like it knows what needs to be done, and it just does it. And so, the mother's body just has to continue to receive and react to the growing of this baby, right? So it's like, as she receives more baby, as the baby grows, like her body gets bigger. And I feel like with, Mother Earth, like she receives everything that we have like given her, that we have kind of thrown away into her. Like I feel like this is like kind of a profound thing, like when we think about the earth and we think about receiving, I think, because a lot of us struggle to receive, right? And there's a lot of kind of sayings about receiving, like you can't receive with a closed fist. So like if your hand is not open to receiving, you can't receive it. But it's like the earth doesn't ever get to close her hand, right? Like the earth is never like, no more toxic waste, thank you. It's like, well, we'll just dump it where we dump it. And yeah, I just feel like that's kind of this really, we're in a time that like so many people understand like how profound this is, that like we have to take care of the earth, because the earth doesn't get to, she doesn't get to put up boundaries, right? She doesn't get to say like, no, thank you, no more, no more emissions, no more gas emissions, please. Or like, no, thank you. Like, no more, please don't build any more factories that affect the climate. Yeah. And that Taurus energy is earth energy. So with this, with this Empress energy, it's also about abundance, and us being open to receiving abundance. With the High Priestess, there's this element of like the divine feminine that is also present in the energy, in the astrology. So we've got this, it's almost like the divine mother and the divine feminine, which really they could be one, but I feel like the separation of the two is so perfect, because this divine feminine is very much about, you know, like spirituality and connecting with the universe and like this higher wisdom. And we can see her eyes are closed, but she can still see, right? Because seeing doesn't come from the physical. And the high priestess is very much about the spiritual, the ethereal, the unseen, you know. And the empress is this divine feminine in the physical, tangible, seen world, right? That this kind of the divine feminine is, it's almost like that's the one that's growing the baby and doing all the inner workings. But the empress, you know, she's the structure for that. And so I wanted to bring this energy in as well, just to kind of talk about, like, you know, with this ninth house ruler of Sagittarius and spirituality, and then also all the Taurus energy that's happening right now, encouraging us to receive, and then more Taurus energy, because Taurus is really like slow and steady, right? That we can connect Taurus and the turtle, not just because they sound similar, but the energy of Taurus. Like Taurus is the bull, right? The ox, like slow, steady, strong, grounded, intentional. And so I've got a couple little turtle cards. So we've got this first one, which is Turtle Spirit. Slow and steady wins the race. It's number 62 in numerology. 6 plus 2 is 8. 8 is the number of abundance. It's also the infinity symbol, so it's never ending. And that's the nature of abundance. Like abundance is the free flow of whatever flavor of abundance you would like. The free flow of love, the free flow of money, the free flow of connection, ideas, energy, you know. It's always, abundance is, it's a never ending energy, you know, just like the infinity symbol. But for us to tap into abundance, we have to be open to receive, which is, again, why she's here. And then we've got this little turtle, and this one is longevity. So we talked about, like, the Taurus energy is slow. It's there's long-term energy that we're coming into now. Like we're really being invited into the space where we can, like, vision what we want for the long term and start to, like, slowly plan it. You know, that I think there's so many people that have disconnected from, like, the hustle culture and the grind and, like, go. And once you have the chance to slow down, I think it gives you this opportunity to reflect on how we're socialized to just get swept away in the current, right? Like that you're just encouraged to just, like, jump in and let the current take you wherever it wants to take you, which I feel like there's, for the sake of analogy, like just jumping in into whatever flow is there, you know, like that is going with the flow. That is surrendering. But if we're jumping into the flow that someone else tells us to jump into, you know, I feel like that's really the energy that we've been in, like the conformity and, like, other people being authority for the decisions that we make. And, you know, it's one thing to say, like, I'm going to go with the flow and I think I'm going to hop in this purple river because I think I've never been in a purple river and that sounds fun. It's a completely different thing for someone to be like, oh no, you have to go in the green river. The purple river is not for you. You go in the green river and then make sure you jump in and start swimming that way until you get down to the rapids, and then it'll carry you. So I hope that makes sense. I know that, like, sometimes we talk about, like, surrender and flow. And I feel like those things are all powerful when we are following the flow of our own life, when we're surrendering to, like, the guidance of the universe. But I feel like a lot of us have been socialized to just kind of go in the direction that we're told and, like, just jump in that river and go there and do that. And, like, you know, getting carried away by something that wasn't our decision. You know, when we kind of step away from that, we're able to see and reflect, you know, in the times that we slow down and decide, like, I don't really think if I had to do it over again, I would not have chosen the Green River like someone told me to choose. I would have chosen the purple one just because I like purple and I thought it looked neat. And like the people over there looked nice. I wanted to go over there. And then lastly, we have this turtle card with Archangel Jules, be joyful and trusting. And so I feel like this is definitely like the energy of the type of like flow and surrender that we are being encouraged to go with. And this guy is look at this little light on the back of his little shell. Look at this little face. This guy knows what's going on. He's got a little secret. I feel like he knows what's going on, and he's like, hey, follow me. Like I know where like all the abundance is. Come on, I'll teach you how to receive on our little swim over to the abundance. Yeah, that's my official professional reading of this card. You are welcome. But I just wanted to share this, this kind of energy that's in the collective, or this energy that is part of the Sagittarius full moon, as well as the astrology that's happening right now. So I feel like this is kind of the overarching energy that we are all in. And of course it applies to each of us in different ways, right? We're not all trying to receive the same thing. We aren't all following the same beliefs and ethics. Like we're not all completing the same thing. We don't all celebrate the same way. I am definitely not a get on the stage kind of person. And then for each of us, being joyful and trusting means something different. Longevity means something different. Slow and steady, means something different. So I think it's easy to see how any of these themes can be applied to, all of our lives and what's happening right now. But I just wanted to share that overarching energy. So I think I want to, I think I'm going to leave this guy here because we're in this Sagittarius energy, and let me move these little guys out of the way. And okay, I'm going to pull a couple cards just for the collective. Just kind of give us a collective reading. And just see like if God Source Spirit has any messages that they want to give us. Is there anything? Okay, I'm being called to ask for some cards about how Spirit, like the way that Spirit's proud of us. Yes, universe, let the collective know, if you don't mind, some of the things that you're like that we've done really well, some encouragement, just some really lovely, nice things. Not that you don't always love us, but let's see what we have. Oh, okay. Okay, so we've got this Two of Swords here. Two of Swords is kind of a conflicted energy. And the Two of Swords is really about like kind of overthinking and like, do I do this or do I do that? Or do I do this or do I do that? And I don't know which one to do. And I'm kind of confused and I can't see everything and I have to sit in the dark and it's uncomfortable. And it feels like the universe is saying, hey, I saw you move through this and you did so good. Like you did so good being in it, sitting in it. Like I'm so proud of you for being in that discomfort and allowing yourself to just be with what was. And I think a lot of times, like, it's almost like the magic of the Two of Swords is when we are sitting in it, sometime in there, we realize that, well, one, that we're uncomfortable. I feel like that happens really quickly, right? Confusion, quickly. Discomfort, quickly. And then somewhere later on in there, we realize, oh, the old me, which there's not a hard delineation between like the old me and the now me, right? Like sometimes the old me or the old you or the old us is like 10 minutes ago. Sometimes it's in this gray space where we don't really know when the old me ended and the new me started, but there's this feeling that, oh, the old me would have gone to old coping mechanisms. The old me would have been scrolling on my phone. The old me would have retail therapied the shit out of this situation to avoid the discomfort. And it's like the magic of the Two of Swords is that, like, eventually we get so far into being with the discomfort that we realize that it's not as bad as our brain told us it was going to be. Two, we are able to reflect on how much we've grown, because there was a version of us that would not have sat through that. Like, and then finally we come to this clarity, right? And clarity doesn't mean that like we have all the answers. Sometimes clarity is like, whoa, just the fact that I am able to be in this discomfort when old me would have used all the coping mechanisms to avoid this. You know what? That's a huge win, and I can be happy with that even if I'm a little uncomfortable. A win is a win. So I feel like the universe is like, I see how much you've grown. Then we've got this 10 of Cups. And I feel like, 10 of Cups is the happily ever after card. We have, these people. This could be a family. This could be best friends. This could just be like beautiful community. But whatever this situation is, it is love. It's all the love, right? All the cups, all the love, all the smiles, all the hugs. And it almost feels like this is the before and after, right? That like, I'm so proud that you went through this, and this is what's coming. Like, because you consistently are doing the work to become your best, highest self, the only thing that can come from it is the life that you've dreamed for yourself. Like, you doing the work to become your best, highest self can only lead you to your best, highest, happy ending, whatever that is for you, your best, highest life, your best, highest timeline. Like, look at this little cutie patootie. Look at, like, that's, I feel like that's you, and that's the universe holding you. Because every time you show up, you're realigning yourself with this. Like, this is your vibrational match. Like, every time that you grow, every time you make a different decision, every time you choose to do things a different way, you're subconsciously making a decision to realign yourself with this. Sometimes you're conscious of it, right? Sometimes, there's maybe you know that you've got 10 steps or 10 goals or 10 things you need to do for this to come to fruition. Like, if this is a birthday party, it's like, we got to send the invitations, got to get balloons, we got to get a cake, we have to, I don't know, like, just make the food. Like, there's all these things, right? So it's sometimes we know that, like, okay, I'm completing a step. And other times, we're not coming into doing the work because we want to get this. It's not like, well, I guess I got to be in the discomfort so I can have my happily ever after. It's not that linear. It's that, okay, I need to be in the discomfort because I can't keep avoiding it. And also, I can't keep repeating the cycle, because the same thing came up 6 months ago and I avoided it, and like, it's back again, and I knew it was going to happen. It kind of sucks. So, you know what? I'm tired of being miserable. So let me be in the discomfort. Let me do the work. And when you're doing that, what you're doing is you're putting yourself into vibrational alignment with your happily ever after. And then we've got this Page of Swords. And I mean, look at this. A little magician, like, she's got her little grimoire, magic book, or whatever it is, and like sparkles in her hair and like these little birds. Pages are messengers. And I feel like this, to me, this is giving very much like Ace of Swords energy, the single sword. And it feels like this page is saying, hey, there's a new beginning coming. There's this, I don't know why I'm having a hard time with the words. I'm sorry. Like the phrase that's coming to mind is it's kind of a weird phrase, but like you're separating the wheat from the chaff. Like you're cutting away all the stuff that is not valuable, so that you only are left with the valuable parts, which is the wheat. That you're cutting away like the old habits, you're cutting away the old beliefs, you're cutting away you're cutting away the dead weight. Take that as it resonates. But yeah, you're cutting away the excess. Because I think we all have a tendency to hold on to what is comfortable, what is familiar. And it's kind of hard to like Marie Kondo your whole, belief system or your like whole kind of social group, or even like your life, right? Where there's things that like we hold on to the things that have value. And sometimes it's valuable for us to be the victim in the story. Sometimes there's value in complaining about the same thing, but not taking action to change it, because complaining is, it sometimes it feels good. And sometimes it's easier than having to have the hard conversation, or sometimes it's easier than walking away, or sometimes it's easier than, disconnecting from someone. But it feels like the universe is giving us collectively a message that like, hey, there's new beginnings coming. There's something new coming, a new cycle, a new beginning, a new opportunity. And in this new opportunity, you're going to be cutting away the things that don't serve you, in whatever form that is for you. So this is the collective reading. So I think I'm going to let's get into the readings for the signs. So we will start with Sagittarius. Hello, Sagittarius. Happy Sagittarius full moon. Oh, I don't know what happened to my voice there. So this is for any Sagittarius placement that you would like to watch it for. Sun, moon, rising, Venus, Mars, Mercury. I don't know if your dad's a Sagittarius, you can watch it for him. I don't I don't know. So I'm going to pull one card from this. No, I'm being told to pull two cards. So we're going to pull two cards from this deck, as well as two oracle cards. So let me get those out. I have too many things, and my desk is not big enough. Okay. Heyo. That's you guys. Okay. All right. Sorry, I hope that's not super loud on the microphone. Let's see what we have. We have got the Magician and the Seven of Cups. I like it. Okay, let's see. Full moon in Cancer. Personal issue reaches resolution. And then fourth house home. Interesting, because the fourth house is ruled by Cancer. Okay, so let me look at all these. So you're really trying to manifest a decision about love, or a decision about how to follow what it is that you love. So this is some of you are picking, you're narrowing down potential suitors to figure out which one you want to choose. Or for those of you that are interested in love, with Seven of Cups, there's no wrong choice, which is great if we are unsure of which way to go. But I feel like for you, with a suitor, like you want the right choice. You want the best right choice. And it feels like right now, like there's not a lot of good options that are being presented to you. I am so sorry. But I get it. And so you're really trying to manifest, like, what is it that I want? What is it that I want? And of course, full moons are, well, really I feel like full moon or new moon is a great time to manifest, that energy. You know, it's a great time to manifest with, right? So this full moon, about endings, you might want to, you know, just have a conversation and say, okay, full moon, can we close out this chapter of not meeting who I would like this and this and this and this and this and this and this. No, thank you. Let's close that out. Let's close out those options. Thank you. And so, you know, when you are able to remove what you don't want, there's more room for what you do want. For others of you, there's something around trying to figure out what it is that you love. And so this feels like, for some of you, it's a career, passion project, even I'm hearing like soul purpose, where, you know, you might have been someone, that's had a lot of different jobs, a lot of different positions, a lot of different roles. You have a lot of different skills, but you really want to figure out, like, okay, what sets my heart on fire, because you are a fire sign? What am I passionate about? But also, which one is going to bear the most fruit? Like, which one is going to give me the best return on investment? Because either way, like, whether this is like love and a potential suitor, or this is like figuring out where you want to invest your energy, moving forward, like this, you know, the Sagittarius energy, you can only shoot one arrow at a time, right? Because you've only got two arms. One arm has to hold the bow. The other arm is going to hold the arrow. But also, you know, needing to be very intentional about where you aim, because Sagittarius is not just going to shoot the bow, like anywhere. You, as a Sagittarius, you want to hit the bullseye, right? Because, well, one, like, why wouldn't you hit the bullseye? But also, like, that's the goal, is to like hit the target. So you have a target in mind as far as like what you want in love and connection, what you want in a career. And so like during this full moon, like the energy that's coming in, like the opportunity, like the message from the universe is like, hey, you can really manifest what it is that you want. You have the ability to be very intentional about whatever it is that you want to draw in. And, you know, with this Taurus abundance energy, like the universe is always going to bring you more than you need. But when you're focused on hitting the bullseye, you know, like with a target, you've got like the bullseye and then you've got all these other rings, right? So you can hit any of the rings. You can have all these options, but you want that one in the center. You want to get very exact and precise about what it is that you want in a partner, what it is that you want in a job, what it is that you want in a purpose. And so, really, that's the energy that you can use this full moon for, to help you not just manifest it, but to help you get kind of clarity around what those things are. And so being like, I feel like for whatever reason, as a fire sign, like fast moving, like, you know, when you look at like a campfire, like it just kind of moves however it wants, or fire in a fireplace. It almost feels like this full moon in Sagittarius energy is going to give you a little bit of stillness and like a little bit of focus to say, okay, we're gonna give you some calm, quiet energy so you can sit and you can kind of think about what it is that you want. You can focus on what it is that you would set your heart on fire. Really take note of it. Really allow your intuition to give you clarity around it. Yeah. Oh. Okay. So then we've got this full moon in Cancer, personal issue reaches resolution. If you have been having any issues like in, parent-child relationship, whether you are the parent or the child, family relationships, stuff with your home, because Cancer does rule like the home, like the childhood home, your space, even some healing around like childhood wounding. I feel like this full moon is going to be supportive of that. And then also this fourth house, home, 4 + 2 is 6 in numerology. 6 is the number in numerology of like human love. 7 is the number of spiritual love. So 6 is the number of like human love. It's like this, there's this element of joy to it that is physical, right? Like, it almost makes me think of like that, gosh, when you're like really excited to spend time with someone, like a friend you haven't seen in forever, like a family member, or even just like a person that you're in love with, like how you feel excited, not butterflies, not nervous, but like just really like kind of giddy and excited. And it's almost like this effervescent energy of like tiny bubbles inside of you. Or that energy, that like really calm, safe, secure, stable energy, like when you're with that family member that just is so accepting and loving of you. Like it feels like that grandmother energy, right? Where it's like if you cursed in front of your grandma, like she probably wouldn't yell at you, but you don't want to do that because like you just have so much like like love and adoration and reverence for her because of how much she loves you, how accepting she is of you. I feel like this, like that's what this fourth house home, number 6 in numerology, human love energy feels like, right? We have like the colors of the chakras, the colors of the rainbow, but they're muted, right? They're almost pastel, like really gentle. And so it just feels like there's this very gentle, lovely energy that it's almost like it's all around you. And I feel like it just wants you to tap into it. Like it wants you to be open to it. It wants you to receive it. And it's almost like this is a gift that the universe is bringing you in the time that you are quiet and still with this full moon, and you're kind of manifesting, thinking about, visioning whatever it is that you want for yourself. If you are willing, this is an invitation. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but if you're willing to allow your heart to open to the love that's around you, that you don't see it. It's not going to make sense. Because when we're talking about human love, you're like, there's not people around me. Like my grandmother doesn't live in the same state as I do, or like I'm not in a partnership, or like I've never experienced that kind of love. Like I don't know what you're talking about. I feel like the universe is, because the way I'm seeing it is like the universe is asking you to put a doorstop in the door so that there's just a crack, right? Like it's almost like, oof, okay, this is sorry for the sound effects. There's a part of your heart that's been locked up really tight out of a need to protect you, to protect itself for the purpose of protection. And so to me, like that heart being locked away is like a door that's got, the key or the lock on the door handle's locked, and then the deadbolt, and then the chain lock, and then like all these different like really heavy duty locks. And so the universe is not asking you to take the locks off the door. You can keep the locks on the door, but do you mind putting like just a little, maybe not even a doorstop, like can you leave the deadbolt open so that when the door kind of closes, the deadbolt keeps it open? Like I don't know if that's making sense, like essentially using the deadbolt as a doorstop. Like can you just leave a tiny crack in the door so that some of this love can start to flow in? Like can you just open yourself a teensy tiny little bit to receive this human love that is all around you, that you don't see because you've been locked up so tight. You've been behind all these locks on a door that doesn't have a peephole. Like the universe is like, if you can just open it a little bit, like so that I just need a little room I just need a crack in the door for that beautiful, it's almost like, it feels like kind of, gosh, like this, almost like it's pastel colored, like smoke that's coming in. It's almost like the universe is like, can you just crack the door so I can get this, like these little love clouds into the room that you're in, so that it can start to like permeate in there. Like, can you trust me? Can you trust me to crack the door open? Oh, I feel like that it's just really sweet and really beautiful. And I also want to acknowledge that that can be really hard to do when you've dealt with this, or, you know, with disappointment. So Sagittarius, this has been your full moon mini reading. So I hope that you have a beautiful full moon in Sagittarius. And I hope that you enjoyed this reading. And I just want to say thank you for being here. Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to your full moon in Sagittarius reading. I'm going to pull, oh geez, come on. I'm going to pull 2 tarot cards for you, as well as 1 Moonology card and 1 Star Codes Astro Oracle, that's a mouthful, card. Okay. So this reading is for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mercury, Mars, another Capricorn, or if you don't even have to be a Capricorn. Maybe you're just drawn to this. Maybe your favorite number is number 10. Maybe you just randomly moved your moved the video scrubber somewhere, and this is where it stopped, and that's your reading. So thank you for being here. And just do a little bit more shuffling, and then we will look at your cards. Oh. I feel like sometimes when, well, I was going to say, sometimes when I don't know where to pull the card from, then I just start shuffling again. Or if the deck kind of splits in a weird way. Or if a bunch of cards come out. Like whenever I get like a bunch of cards that come out, like, I don't know, like 6, then I'm like, I don't know. Everybody's excited. Everybody wants to be part of the reading, but I don't know. I don't know how to do a mini reading with 6 oracle cards. Okay. All right. Get these out of the way. So let's see what we have. Ooh, we have the Moon and the Emperor. Okay, this is big major arcana energy. I don't know why this got I started watching Broad City because I met someone this weekend that told me I look like one of the women in the TV show. This random lovely stranger named Yelena. And so I watched the first episode, and the neighbor of one of the girls looks like this. And so long story, no purpose. You're welcome. Okay, so let's look at this next card. Okay, new moon in Pisces and Saturn structure. Okay, so Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn. Very similar energy. So this is fun. It feels like this feels good. I like this feels good, like being home. This feels like coming back home after a really great trip. You know, where it's like you had a lovely trip, and like you do you ever take trips and you're like, I can't wait for this to be over and I just want to go home? Not like that. Like it feels like, oh, this trip was amazing and I had a lovely time and everybody was lovely and I kind of didn't want to leave, but of course I always want to come back home. And then it's like you get home and like whoever house sat for you, like they did a great job, or whoever pet sat for you, they did a great job, and like everything is fine. Like your fur babies are happy, your house is not exploded, like the flight wasn't delayed. Everything was just like, everything's just like nice. It's like things just are working the way that they should, which as a Capricorn of any type, especially Capricorn rising, you appreciate that. As a Capricorn rising myself, when things work the way that they're supposed to, it makes me really happy. Like when when people use their blinker. I'm like, thank you for, communicating with all of us who don't know you, but are really at the mercy of however you want to drive your car next to us because we can't get away from you. Okay, so that's what I'm getting for this Saturn energy. It feels good. It feels grounded. It feels obviously structured, but it feels like that nice coming home energy. And this could even be like coming home after like a long week at work where you're like, oh, I cannot wait to hang out with my couch all weekend and just watch the same movies that I've seen a jillion times because my brain doesn't want to do anything. I just want to relax and like enjoy myself. So that's what I'm getting from this kid. Okay, so let's look at this moon card, which is, I mean, have you ever seen a more beautiful moon card? I cannot look at this magical high priestess. I don't know this. What is this? This is goddess, right? So she's got the lobster on her arm. Just like in the traditional tarot, there's a lobster in there. I don't see a dog or a wolf, and that's okay. So a little nod to the subconscious in, this tarot card. But the moon card is about things being illuminated, like us being able to see things that we couldn't see before. Also the water in the moon card with the lobster, like it's very representative of like the subconscious, right? Emotions. And this can be understanding. What I'm getting is like during this full moon, like you're going to gain some kind of understanding around why you had the emotional reactions that you had to certain things. Like it's that kind of, it's this clarity around like triggers, right? Like there's some kind of clarity and healing that's coming from understanding like these things that triggered you and like why they triggered you. But it's not really like this, it's not the deep work, right? It's not like, oh my gosh, like having to look at this trauma. It clicks. Oh, and that's sorry. I'm getting excited. Things working the way that they're supposed to is really just another way of saying like things are working the way that we want them to work. Things are working out really easily and effortlessly for us. And it's like, that's what it feels like around this healing, where it's like you've been doing the work to do the healing, but something is happening around this full moon where it's like you get it. Like it's like an aha, where instead of like, okay, I understand that I need to forgive because this is important. Like, instead of just having this mental understanding of like, I know the benefits of forgiving because then it's like I can release that and like they get their energy back. I am my energy back. Like, not that that's like energy. It's valid and important, but sometimes we can get stuck in that, right? Like, how many cord cutting meditations do I have to do until I can forgive my parent or my ex or my whatever? We can get kind of stuck in that, like needing to fix ourselves or like, the treadmill of healing, the hamster wheel of healing. And I feel like for you, it's going to be an aha, right? So instead of like, okay, I know I need to forgive and I'm going to journal about why I'm having a hard time forgiving. It's like the thing that's going to come up is like, you're going to get some kind of clarity, like some kind of aha that takes you over the hump of whatever was preventing your healing. And I don't know if it's a perspective. I don't know if it's something that's coming to your awareness from your subconscious. Like, I don't know what it's going to look like for you. But it's going to be something, it's going to be an aha thing that is going to help you get to this next level of healing. So it's that aha is the illumination, right? And so we've got this Emperor card, got this handsome gentleman, and he's holding this ball, which kind of feels like the world, right? The Emperor is a really powerful card. Like he's, there's a tarot reader named Lindsay Mack, and the way that she reads tarot, or the way that she reads emperor energy, is that, you know, the emperor is like the divine masculine, but this is the redwood tree, right? The emperor is the mountain. Like the redwood tree doesn't, it doesn't ask if it's okay if it takes up all this space. It just grows into a giant tree because that's what it does. That's who it is. That's its innate essence, right? Like a mountain's not like, hey, is anybody going to be mad if I kind of crack the earth open and start to like erupt and grow? Is everybody cool with that? I'm going to take a poll before I do it. I'll send out a Slack survey. I just want to check. Is there no. The mountain's like it just mountains. it just comes into existence, right? It doesn't check. It doesn't ask for permission. It just bees who it be, if that makes sense. It just is what it is. It just follows its essence. And it feels like that's the energy that you're coming into, that, you know, as a Capricorn, like you're really grounded, responsible, reliable, steady. You know who you are. But we all have this conditioning, right? Where it's like, I know who I am, but is it okay if I am who I am? Because like this is, you know, 10th house is the fame house. It's the public facing house. It's our persona. It's our, you know, identity out in the world. It's our LinkedIn profile, right? It's our resume. It's our professional headshot. And so there's some obligation energy there, right? I think it's kind of this inherent, because it's, you know, public persona, like there's this obligation to either be who we think that people are expecting us to be, or the flip side of that obligation is, if I don't self-obligate, is there potentially punishment for me showing up and being different than the public expects? And the public, you know, like you might be like, I don't have an audience. What are you talking about? The public is the people outside of you, your friends, your family, your coworkers. Or if you have an audience, it can also be those people. And it feels like as you're having like these aha moments that are going to come up, this illumination that's going to come up, it's going to further drive you into being your most authentic version of you. And I think the thing I love about this emperor is that, you know, his hands are full. He's holding, I don't know what this is. It kind of looks like an ankh, right? Which is the symbol for life. And then he's holding this globe, the earth. Very secure, right? Like not grasping, not squeezing, but like, he's not worried that someone's going to take this away from him. He's very stable in it. And I feel like as you have these ahas, the illuminations that come up, and you kind of go over this next hump, you know, like kind of getting over this hump of healing that maybe you were stuck on for a while, like you're going to become very secure, very grounded, very knowing in who you are. And I feel like that's just beautiful, right? And like, it really feels like that Saturn energy of like coming home, but it's like coming home to yourself. Because like you've always known who you were. It's just that like, is it okay that I'm this way? You know, is it, will there be consequences? What can I handle the repercussions? Do I need someone to do PR for me to do damage control, right? Like, I feel like that's very like Capricornian thinking of like, you know, I'm strong and confident enough to do the thing, but how much pain is going to come from this? And I think maybe for a while you've been avoiding that potential pain. And I think with these aha moments, it's like, I don't give a shit about, I don't care. Like, I need to be my authentic self. I need to be comfortable in who I am, how I show up. Yeah. And so it's really like Capricorn in Saturn, like Capricorn, you're coming home to your intuitive home. You're coming home to your own energy. Oh, I love it. And then we've got this meditate and contemplate. So to me, this feels like this is new moon in Pisces, but to me, this feels like the full moon is inviting you to, maybe do a little full moon meditation, do a little bit of full moon journaling, or, just maybe sitting outside and like hanging out with the moon, just staring at it, just kind of allowing yourself like the time and space to just get quiet and still. And if you want to do some meditation, the moon's like, have at it. Or even just like contemplating, thinking about things, but giving yourself some quiet time, some kind of almost like ceremonial space. You don't need to do a ceremony or a ritual, but like really kind of carving out some sacred ceremonial space for you, and that might be, letting your family know like, hey, I'm going to go for maybe like a little 15-minute drive by myself. Just, I just want some time alone, or like, I'm going to take a bath, or like, oh, I know we normally go to dinner on Thursday nights, but I need to stay in this time. So the ceremonial part of it is like really kind of making that time for you sacred. It's not necessarily like that you need to do a ritual or a ceremony. So I hope that makes sense. But yeah, Capricorn, this has been your full moon mini reading. So I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that you have a lovely full moon, and thank you for being here. Hello, Aquarius. Happy full moon in Sagittarius. Whoa. These guys are excited. What is this? 8 of Wands. And look at this little archer. Come on now. Come on. That's Sagittarius. Okay, so I am going to pull 2 cards for you from this Wandering Star deck, and then an oracle card from the Moonology Oracle, and 1 star code Astro Oracle card. All right, can we get 2 cards for Aquarius? This is too many. Honey, I can't read for, I'm going to take it. I'm not going to fight with you. Little deck. So Aquarius, you lucked out. Apparently there's lots of things that the universe wants for you to know. Okay. And all right. Okay, so put these kids over here. Okay, let's see what we got. We have 5 of Cups, 5 of Pentacles, Knight of Cups, Knight of Pentacles. What? Okay. That I've never had that happen before, where I've pulled the 5, where I pulled 2 of the, you know what I'm saying. Like, I don't know how to explain it. One thing that I was noticing when I was looking at this card when I was shuffling for you, and we've got the 2 arms of this Aquarius dude. I'm like this merman. I don't know what this is. But these, Aquarius is the water bearer, but these water vessels are faces, right? They're mirror images, which is literally what we have here, mirror image. So, and the Aquarius rules the 11th house, and we've got the electric current, which is like these 2 things. Like I'm freaking out a little bit, because it's like the 2 and 2 and mirror and 2 and 2 and yeah. Okay, let me focus. Okay, what we've got here is very similar energies, right? This is literally, I cannot, sometimes with tarot, it's like, this is so bananas. So we've got 5 of Cups and 5 of Pentacles. We have 2 women, each shedding one tear. Like, Five of Cups is a card of grief and loss. Five of Pentacles is about being left out in the cold, betrayal, abandonment. There, the thing that these two cards have in common is that there's something that is still there that is positive, that can help. Like there's something that's still good there that isn't being seen. So with this Five of Pentacles being left out in the cold, if she would just turn around, she would see that there's a building behind her. You know, that like it looks like there's light on in this. Typically it's a church, right, with stained glass. But like with this Tree of Life, like what this feels like to me is that it feels like something happened and you feel like the universe like left you out in the cold, or like some big, this could even be an authority figure. It's like somebody that was supposed to take care of you left you out in the cold. And like this Tree of Life, to me, this is the universe, like there's never an end between us. Like the Tree of Life doesn't stop growing, right? And so it's like the relationship that you have with like God, Source, Spirit, the universe, like they're saying like this, it never ended, you know. And that like, and it's not like it's not a blaming energy. It's not even that, like, because you know how sometimes like we can have situations with human beings and it's like, well, I left because I thought you weren't going to show up because you're 15 minutes late. And the other person's like, well, if you just waited, you would have seen me, you know? So it's like, okay, so now I'm the jerk because I left because you were 15 minutes late, instead of you being the jerk that didn't text and say that you were going to be 15 minutes late. It's not that. Like the universe is not like, if you just would have waited. Like the universe is, gosh, it's almost like this is a reminder that like, if you turn around, I'm right there. If you turn around, you'll see me. I never left you. Like lift a stone and I am there. Like see the flower and you will see me. These are very weird things to say. Like, I hope it makes sense. But like what I'm feeling is that like, you know, there was something painful that happened. There was something that you experienced that you felt very alone because of that. Like you felt left out in the cold. You felt abandoned, you know, and it was really painful. And the universe is like, no, I was there. I was there. I've always been there. I always will be there. Like, you can't get rid of me is really kind of what I'm hearing. And it feels like if you, gosh, during this full moon, if you're willing to just turn around, and so turn around is kind of metaphorical, right? Turn around can be, if you're willing to return to your meditation practice, if you're willing to return to whatever spiritual practices you had before that really connected you with the universe, if you're willing to turn around and like forgive, then it's going to be so evident to you that the universe is always right there. You know, it feels like you are this, to me, this feels like a unicorn. Like it feels like you are this unicorn, even though we don't see, you know, we don't necessarily see a horn, but as an Aquarius, like you are not a horse, you are a unicorn. Right? I don't have to explain that to you, you know. But if you're willing to turn around, it will be so evident that the universe is right there with you. Just like this bright sun, this bright light, like it's so bright, so close, so large that there's no way that this unicorn can't see that light. There's no way that this unicorn can't feel that light. And so, oh, okay. And what I heard was, this is from the universe, if you're willing to forgive me, then you'll be able to see me. Oh, like that makes I feel like I'm getting, when you get choked up and you feel that like lump in your throat, I'm energetically feeling it. So I hope that brings you a lot of comfort, that you were never alone, and that the universe is just going to hang out until you're ready to turn around, to forgive, to return to whatever practice, habit, thought process connected you before. Yeah, it's the space that you used to commune with the universe in, like whatever that is. For some of you, that's a physical location. For some of you, that's like a spiritual practice. With this Five of Cups and this Knight of Cups, there's something that you lost, and whatever that loss was might have triggered this, because it did come, I feel like it was before. And that when we focus on what we've lost, how she's holding on to this cup, she's holding on to this cup and her eyes closed, and she doesn't see that there's actually 2 cups that are upright, even though 3 have been spilled. It feels like what has been lost is a lot more than what's still there, but what is still there is more than what she needs. She's one person. She doesn't need 2 cups, but even if she wants 2 cups, she's got 2 hands that she can hold 2 cups in, and she will be full, right? There's no more hands to hold cups in. So if you're willing to let go of ruminating on the thing that is causing you grief, because it's one thing to grieve, it's one thing to feel the feelings that come up with grief, whatever they are, and it's another thing to just cling to to just think about the thing that is causing you grief. I hope that makes sense, because I feel like it's so nuanced, right? But as an air sign, you can be very analytical. Aquarius is, you can zoom way out, and it's easy. It's easier. It can be easier for you to think about your feelings than to feel your feelings. And it feels like there's an invitation to feel the feelings so that it can come up and out and you can let it go. Instead of holding, it's almost like the analysis of the feelings is what's causing all of this to just pour out, instead of a release, right? Because grief is a release. And it's almost like if you can allow yourself to grieve, then you can put down the thing that hurt you, the thing that created the grief. And you'll be able to, take the cup that's still upright and move forward. Because when we look at this, it looks like the same person, right? It's very same hair, same, skin tone. There's somewhere that there's brighter days ahead, right? We've got the sun here, and this 5 of Cups, it's in the night, the stars, the grief's really dark. But there's something else that the universe has in store for you. There's something else that it wants you to move towards. So that guidance is to allow yourself to feel the feelings, feel the sorrow, feel the loss, in your body. Yeah, not in your brain, in your body. And then, when you're ready, forgive and turn back towards the universe. Because there's, we've got this, you're on the horse moving towards the sun, and then it's you're the unicorn that is next to the sun. Okay, next we've got nothing will come of this situation, void of course moon. When the moon's void of course, we don't feel like doing anything. We kind of our energy's a little bit off, I'm kind of tired, no motivation. And it feels like you've been stuck for long enough. You've been in that for long enough. You, as an Aquarius, you're zoomed way out. It's time to come back in. It's time to come back in. And then Then we've got 11th house, which is your house, and this card of community. So this might be some encouragement to actually connect with other people in your personal community, or even finding a spiritual community that you can connect with, or possibly connecting with like some kind of like group that helps people with grief or whatever like your specific loss was. There can be some power in like group healing, group work. And I'm hearing that like if there's a group that offers some kind of community support and they don't look like you, it's still worth it. It actually might be a better fit than looking for people that look like you, right? So maybe you're a highly spiritual person and there's a group about forgiveness, working through forgiveness, but it's like at a church, and it's like, okay, I don't really resonate with religion. And they don't look like me because we've got these two very different colored hands. And that's why I say like there's this encouragement to go towards something that, even if it doesn't look like it matches, if it doesn't look like it's a good fit, but your intuition is saying like, yeah, I need to do some forgiveness work. Trust that. Yeah, trust that. So Aquarius, this has been your full moon in Sagittarius reading. I hope that this was helpful. I hope that it was encouraging, because it feels like you've been dealing with some heavy stuff. But I just want to remind you that like you have the power to shift this into what is for your best, highest good whenever you want. Like this is not a limited time offer. There's no time frame on it. Yes, the Sagittarius full moon is, the moon's only in Sagittarius for, like a day and a half. But this message isn't like, okay, if you don't do this by the 24th, no. The energies that are coming with, the full moon energies are saying, hey, Aquarius, this is what we want to call your attention to. And when you're ready, we're here to support you. We're here to guide you. So I hope that it's helpful and encouraging. And I just want to say thank you so much for being here. And I hope you have a lovely full moon in Sagittarius. Hello, Pisces. Welcome to your full moon in Sagittarius mini reading. This reading is for Pisces, sun, moon, rising, Venus, Mars. There's no planet named Mars. Mars, Mercury. Maybe if you have a Mars Mercury conjunction, then you could call it Mars and no one will know what you're talking about except for me. North Node, whatever you would like to watch, whatever planet you'd like to watch for, or whoever has Pisces in their chart, if you'd like to watch for them, you are welcome to cross watch. So I'm gonna pull two cards. You see this guy moving around. Let's see how he comes out. I'm gonna pull two tarot cards. Obviously, I already did, for you, and then one Moon Oracle and one Astro Code Oracle card. No, we want this one. Okay, so let's see. Okay. Oh, I like it. Okay, I see why it flipped around. Two of Swords in the upright is a card of confusion. It's a little painful to be confused. It's painful to not really see what's going on. It's loud. It's chaotic. Two of Swords in reverse. You are gaining a lot. You're coming out of this. You're coming into clarity. You are pulling this blindfold off. We see her, like, she's kind of trying to reach for it, but she's kind of trying to protect herself from these, what are these guys doing? These crazy babies. She's even picked up sand. Like, it's just this kind of panicky, chaotic energy. You are coming out of that, Pisces, in this, full moon in Sagittarius. And then with this Wheel of Fortune, the Wheel of Fortune is always turning, and things are turning in a different direction for you. So you're coming out of any kind of like drama, chaos. I'm feeling like it feels like survival energy, like needing to fight to protect yourself. And this can be like literal or metaphorical, right? This can be like if you're, in some kind, for some reason, like legal stuff is coming to mind, I think, because the blindfold justice is blind. If you're having problems at work, like somebody is trying to mess with your reputation or just mess with you at work because like our money is tied to survival, like you're coming into a new positive time. You're actually like you're rising above whatever this drama is. And so, for some of you that can be moving on to a new job, being offered an opportunity. This can be just kind of opting out of dealing with whatever this drama is. This can be deciding, what, I see the truth of everybody. I see that whatever I say to one of you, you'll spread it amongst all of you. So you know what? I'm just not going to talk to anybody. And that might sound kind of petty, but it's really, in a way, it's really kind of setting you free to like rise above interacting with the people that you see the truth of now. Like that you see that, you got a lot of kind of squawking crazy birds around you, and that you're like, you know what, I'm gonna rise up above this. And we've got like this kind of white and black energy, and it feels like this is a very balanced decision, right? That like sometimes we can come from a place of like anger or just wanting to be petty by like not talking to people, by rejecting people. And then other times it's like, no, my preference would be to be, social and interact and be able to have a connection with you, but I can see it's not for my best, highest good. So what I'm going to do is just be professional and only talk about work, because I don't want to put the energy into figuring out, are you trustworthy? Are you safe? Are you going to repeat what I say? Like, I just, what is for my best, highest good is just to kind of not deal with any of you. So it's that kind of energy. And then we've got a new romantic cycle begins, new moon in Libra. Okay, so I talked about the balance, with this blindfold, like justice is blind. Libra in the tarot is associated with the justice card because of the scales. So it feels like, things are balancing out for you. That, like I said, like there's endings, there's new beginnings, like there's clarity. You're shifting the way that you are doing things in some situation. And so this could be a romantic relationship. This could be a situationship or dating. For some of you, this might have to do with like a divorce, right? That like for anybody that's dealing with divorce, like what I'm feeling is like that either someone is trying to bully you, or they were trying to bully you into them getting their way, and the scenario that's coming through is that like there was, when the divorce was coming about, when the ending was coming about, the separation, and this could probably even apply to like something like a business, like any kind of agreement that needs to be legally dissolved. So business agreement, marriage, like even custody stuff, even property, right? Like if you owned a piece of property, if you owned a business with someone and you're dissolving that connection, there's a legal element to it. And it feels like in the beginning it was like, oh yeah, we can keep this amicable and yeah, it's fine. And like, we'll just split it down the middle. And somewhere in there, the other party kind of started bullying or squawking or just making problems. And it feels like it left you kind of blindsided with the blindfold on, and you're just kind of like grasping at straws, right? Like she's grabbing at the sand, like, oh, what's that gonna do? But she's just trying to get grounded. She's trying to feel secure. She's trying to reach for anything to hold on to, or maybe even something to protect herself with, or kind of used to go on the offensive, you know, as this kind of energy escalates. And you might have been in that space, and now you're like, you know what? I don't want to deal with this anymore. I'm going to get a lawyer. I know I said that we said that we didn't want to do lawyers and that was complicated, but it's really like you didn't give me a choice. Like you bullied me, or you threatened to take the kids, or you are trying to take more than your half of the business, or you're just not taking any action on it. And now I'm kind of stuck, and you're trying to kind of bully me by not doing anything to help this thing you agreed to. And you know what? I'm gonna get some kind of support. So that could be like getting a lawyer. That could be, I don't know, going through some kind of official channel, or that could just be saying that, like, I'm not going to take this from you anymore, right? This could just be like you opening up, using your voice, standing your power, and saying like, I'm done. No more. And then finally, we have this Saturn, which is structure. Okay. Saturn is in Pisces right now. And it, you know, Pisces is, we've got this really beautiful image. She's a mermaid, but she has like a very long kind of tail. And then she's got this little dragon buddy here, which is like a dragonfish, two-headed, magical mascot. Look at this. How cute. Look at this little kid. He's like, give me the chin scratchies. Chin scratches, please. Oh my gosh. This is so cute. Okay, sorry. Saturn is in Pisces, but like the Saturn energy is very go with the flow, like gentle, flowing. A lot of depth, can have a lot of depth, but if you cross a Pisces, you know, they might have the universe, they might have people, you know, like just protective, loving friends, like that are there, you know, to encourage them, or, you know, their brother might be a lawyer, you know, you don't know. But to me, it feels like, you know, this structure card, it's not really in Saturn, or it's not really in the Pisces nature to be very structured, to be harsh, to be direct and like authoritative, but it almost feels like this full moon in Sagittarius is energizing you to do that, because there's a karmic imbalance with this. Like somebody's just trying to do you dirty, and it's almost like that fire of the Sagittarius moon is like, you are not messing with my friend. Oh no, you're not messing with my Pisces. No, I'm gonna get Saturn. Big Daddy Saturn's gonna get you. He's gonna come in with his legal team, and we're just gonna, nope, we're not doing this. We're gonna bring Pisces up. We're Pisces is elevating themselves, like we're pulling them up. No more. So it feels like whatever kind of stuff you've been dealing with, like there's going to be a shift in your energy and the energy in the situation that is really in your favor, to bring an end to this like drama nonsense, whatever this squawking person is that you've been dealing with. So, yeah, I feel like it feels really good. It feels like there's a lightness. It feels like it will feel like a weight lifted off your shoulders. So yeah, Pisces, that has been your full moon in Sagittarius mini reading. So I just want to say thank you so much for being here, and I hope you have a lovely Sagittarius full moon. Hello, Aries. Welcome to your full moon in Sagittarius mini reading. So this is for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mars, Mercury, North Node, whatever else you want to watch it for, as well as if you want to cross watch for an Aries in your life of whatever planet placement that you would like. Okay, so I'm going to get 2 more cards for you, and then we will jump into your reading and see what the full moon has in store for you in your fellow fire sign of Sagittarius. Okay. All right. So we have Seven of Cups and Ace of Swords. Then we got emotions are running high, supermoon, and Ceres, nurture. Okay, I'm going to get the book for Ceres because I think it's like an asteroid. I don't know. I can't, sometimes like the asteroids, I can't remember what their energy is. I feel like this has to do with healing and nurturing, but well, obviously because nurturing's on there, but it feels like it has to do with something with healing, but I want to look just so that I don't lie to you. Actually, so that we get a good reading with lots of in-depth information. So Aries, Seven of Cups is about needing to make a choice, kind of feeling confused about what choice to make. What is the best? To me, this feels like for you, it's like, which way do I go? Like you're so ready, especially with Mars and Aries, like you're so ready to just like get in your, I was gonna say get in your rocket ship. No, you're so ready to get on your motorbike, your sport bike, and just like zoom into wherever it is that you need to go, but you're not sure. Because there's lots of options. And there's part of you that's like, I want to just go. I just want to go. I don't care where I'm going. But also, I mean, I kind of need to know where I'm going because like, do I have enough gas or like, am I going to need to stay overnight somewhere? Or like, am I meeting people or am I just going by myself? Like, it's almost like there's this, you've got some like internal confusion that's happening and there's a new beginning that's waiting for you. But we've got this Ace of Swords, like it's one sword, right? So like you have to choose one path, one direction, one location where you want to end up when you get on your motorbike, even if it's like, I'm just going to come home. I'm going to go out and ride for 3 hours and then I'll go out for an hour and a half and then I'll turn around and come right back home. It's like you're chomping at the bit to go. And you're so ready to go, but you don't know where to go. It's like, I just need to go. It doesn't matter. I just need to go. But it does matter because I feel like there's something that happened, like this is a repeat for you, that you've been in this energy before where you were just ready to go and you kind of just flung yourself into something and it wasn't great. It didn't work out great. It wasn't your favorite. It wasn't disastrous, but it also, it wasn't, how sometimes like we can fling ourselves into an adventure and it's like, oh my gosh, that was kind of crazy, but we got some good stories from it. But also like, we're not doing that again. Whatever this was that you feel like you don't want to repeat, there was no good stories that came from it. It wasn't painful to the point that you don't want to fling yourself out there ever again. Cause that's kind of your energy, right? Like you're always going to be an initiator. But you definitely want to make sure that you don't re-experience that, and it wasn't bad enough that you're like, oh, never going to do anything again. No. But I think that I feel like whatever this was, it was a maturing lesson that, my time, energy, money, whatever resources are way too valuable and meaningful to me to waste on just like a kind of shitty situation, you know? And it's like, there's no ego behind that. It's just the truth, like, because those are all your things. You are allowed to do or not do whatever you want with whatever belongs to you. And it's not, you know, it's not like you went on a date with someone that like forgot their wallet and you had to pay and you're like, oh God, never doing that again. Like, my money is worth more than paying for some, you know, it's not like that. It's like, whatever this last experience was, it was not worth it. It was not worth it. Like, you know how sometimes people go through things and they're like, oh yeah, but like, it's almost like there's like some salvageable moment to it where they're like, well, but you know, and you're like, nope. No part of that was worth repeating. Got the lesson. One and done on that. Definitely don't want to do that again. And this could be a relationship because it is the cups, but I feel like the energy of it is that like your Mars is in Aries right now. Mars is in your sign. Like, it, you know, Mars is ruled by Aries. So it's like at home. So it's like you know, like, it's almost like you got your bike back from the shop and, you know, maybe you had some things done to it. You got like, I don't know anything about bikes or mechanics or anything, but you got some fun things done to it. Maybe you got it painted. Maybe you got new, pedals or brakes, or I don't know. I'm trying here. You get what I'm saying? Like, you got some modifications done to it and you're so ready to ride it, you know, because like, this is your bike, right? Like, you know, this bike, you know what it's capable of. You also know exactly how you got it souped up and what you got it souped up for. So it's like, you're chomping at the bit, like, need to get on a motorcycle and go. Don't forget your helmet, please. And thank you. And there's a new adventure that's waiting for you, but it feels like during this full moon, what you're being encouraged to do is to really be intentional about what it is either that you do not want or what it is that you specifically do want, instead of just allowing yourself to fling into whatever. And so I think for some of us, sometimes it's hard to nail down what you do want. And it's much easier to say, okay, I don't want this, this, and this. Everything else is cool. You know, almost like people that have food allergies, right? Where they're like, okay, I can't eat anything with peanuts. Everything else doesn't matter. Like, my BFF is like that. Like, he's vegetarian. So it's like, any place that has a salad, I'm fine. It's like, oh, okay. Like, when we can find a vegetarian restaurant. He's like, they have vegetables. I can eat mashed potatoes. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't with you, buddy. But it's like, sometimes it's that energy where it's like, I just don't, as long as it's not this, this, and this, I'll be fine. Or, you know, depending on your flavor of Aries, you might be like, nope, I want this and this and this. And if it doesn't have this, I don't want it. I don't want it. So during this full moon in Sagittarius, you're being encouraged to get really clear on what it is that you either do not want or what you do want, or both, so that you can call that in for this new beginning, so that you can align, you know, this new beginning energy with what it is that you do or don't want. Emotions are running high. Yeah, this is just that you're ready to go. You're ready to go. So let's look at the series. So 29 in numerology, 2 plus 9 is 11. 11 is, you know, this master manifestor number. It's this parallel. It's the connection to source, connected to high priestess. Even though it's high priestess is the number 2, but the 11, you know, or the 2 in the 2 in Roman numerals looks like 11, which makes me think of high priestess, who has like a direct connection to God, source, spirit, like strong crown chakra. So asteroid. I don't know if I said that about Ceres. 74. 7 plus 4 is 11. I can't. Come on, you guys. Okay, I'm gonna read this to you, but I'm gonna hold this up so you can have something to look at while I'm reading, because I need it closer, because I'm old. Ceres is a dwarf planet between Mars and Jupiter, named after Ceres, Roman goddess of the harvest, food, earth earthly fertility and mother of Proserpina, goddess of the spring. When Pluto kidnapped Proserpina and took her to the underworld to be his queen, Ceres threatened to starve the world until she returned. Oh. Ceres signifies our relationship to food, for better or worse, cultivation, and the safety or loss of a child. Ceres in ancient rites initiated people into the secrets of death and rebirth through the symbolic harvest. Cut the heads off grain with a scythe, bury them, and new life arises. Also known as farming. Okay, so there is, there's some action, there's a challenge, and then there's a gift. So the action is to nurture, to mother and be mothered, to cultivate whatever is growing for you. And then it says real love can mean tough love, doing what's best for your beloved, even if they hate you for it. That's pretty strong. But what I'm picking up from that is that, like, when you're making your choices, do your best to focus on the choices that are best for you, not the choices that you think that you should make for other people. And I feel like with the Aries energy, first house energy, like it's easy. Well, it's in your nature to be able to resonate with what it is that you want. But I think sometimes there can be wounding with Aries where, like they can be called selfish or self-centered. And I think sometimes, like, when we hear messages like that, it causes us to overcompensate for the other side of things, so it's like we can have two different sides of a shadow, right? Where like an unevolved Aries can be very self-centered, right? They can be very selfish, but on the other side of it, like an Aries that is not in their power can give that power away by just doing what everybody else wants, instead of like being true to themselves. And I feel like that's kind of that action message that, like, real love can mean tough love, and sometimes we have to give ourselves tough love. And sometimes that tough love looks like having the courage to choose what we want, as well as like what we don't want, to let go of what we don't want or identify what we don't want, even if that means that it's going to bother other people. Because really, like, we're responsible for all the choices that we make, and we're responsible for the consequences that come from those choices. And I feel like that last situation when you kind of flung yourself at something, like, the consequences of that kind of flinging were so miserable that, like, no, yeah, never again, right? So I hope that makes sense. I hope what I'm saying makes sense. Advocate for yourself. Advocate for those that are, like, weaker than you. The challenge part of this card is saying, like, not to smother, enable, or kind of infantilize, like to kind of baby like yourself, your actions, like even others, like trying to give them the space to be and to exist. And then the gift of this Ceres nature energy is that, like, there's this kind of cultivation, this growth that is coming out of it. Also, I don't know if this is supposed to be the asteroid or if it's it looks like a full moon to me. So I like that, it's like a nice little connection. It's super moon, full moon in Sagittarius. But the gift of Ceres is this cultivation, right? And with this Ace of Swords, we've got all this green growth, even in the Seven of Cups. Like, there's, like the cup that's been chosen, it's got like a plant growing out of it already. So it's like there's no doubt that you're going to cultivate and grow something. And I think because you have that initiation energy, you can't not bear fruit in the choices that you make. But I feel like this Ceres energy is really trying to help guide and nurture you in making the best decisions for you. So I hope that makes sense. But Aries, this has been your full moon mini reading. So I wanted to say thank you so much for being here. And I want to wish you a happy full moon in Sagittarius. Thank you. Hello, Taurus. Welcome to your full moon in Sagittarius mini reading. So this reading is for anybody that's got their sun, moon, rising, Venus, Mars, Mercury, North Node, whatever, in Taurus, as well as if you wanted to cross-watch this reading for a Taurus in your life. So I will be pulling 2 cards from this tarot deck for you, as well as 2 oracle cards. Okay. Oh, man. Okay, I dropped a card, or actually one slid off the top, so I'm going to take that. And it is the Wheel of Fortune. These cards are so beautiful. I just love them. Okay, so let's see. All right, so we have, first of all, we have this Wheel of Fortune that just popped out, needed to make an appearance. So Wheel of Fortune energy is about something changing, something shifting. The wheel turns for all of us. It's really kind of fate, right? That like this, the energy of this card is kind of about like just fate, that sometimes things happen. To me, this feels like synchronicities. Like there's some kind of synchronicity that's going to happen for you during this full moon in, I was going to say Scorpio, but Sagittarius. It's a full moon in Sagittarius. Okay. And then, okay, we've got the 3 of Swords. So this is a card of heartache, disappointment. Let's see what your other tarot card is. 4 of Swords. Interesting. Okay. So these are obviously 3 and 4 of Swords, one right after the other. So there was, or there may be, I'm not sure if this is going to happen like around the time of the full moon, or if this has already happened for you, some kind of disappointment, right? Like this, a lot of times like people connect 3 of Swords with romance, like a breakup. Yeah. Do you agree? 3 of Swords is a breakup? Okay. Ben says that's how he reads 3 of Swords. The energy I'm getting for this is that it could just be a disappointment in some kind of relationship, friendship. It could be work. Okay. Well, what else, buddy? Do you want to say anything else? No? Okay. Ben would like you to pet him. That's the other thing. Or maybe that was for me. That might be for me. But this 3 of Swords, like, this is some kind of disappointment. And we can see, like, she's kind of holding her head. So, like, this is, she's having a hard time. Look, it was a poor girl, red eyes, crying, holding her head. Like, this kind of feels unexpected, but also like Taurus is in Uranus. And I feel like it's hard doing readings where you kind of where you have to deliver like not great news, right? Because nobody wants to hear that you're going to have some kind of disappointment. Is this going to be the worst thing that ever happens to you? Absolutely not. Is this going to be something that you think about 3 years from now? No. Is it going to suck in the moment? Yeah. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry that someone betrayed your trust. I'm sorry that someone disappointed you. I'm sorry that someone gave you a headache. If that's like the least of it, that someone caused you a headache, I'm sorry. You know, I'm because I feel like it sucks, right? That like, because what I'm hearing is like, why couldn't you just talk to me? The swords cards are about communication, you know? So it's like, why couldn't you just tell me? And it feels like when you find out what this is, it's almost like you already knew. And that doesn't make it better, doesn't make it worse. It just makes that feeling of like, why don't you just say something? It makes that feel a little bit heavier, you know, like that you find out that like something had been happening, right? So this, like in a relationship like this, could feel like dating someone that like you can kind of tell that they're not really interested, but they're not saying it. And it's almost like, in a way, like part of you is waiting until they say it. And then another part of you is like, okay, am I just assuming the worst? For some of you, this can be like in the workplace, this could be like a layoff, right? Where it's like, oh, okay, this is why you started treating me differently 3 months ago. Like, did you know that you were going to lay me off then? Is that why you were being weird? Like, what the hell? You know, so it's like that kind of disappointment energy where it's like, ugh. Like, and you don't need to ask them. Like, your intuition, like, you know, intuitively that this was already kind of in the background before they actually said something. And I think that's what feels gross. This Four of Swords card it's about rest and recovery. And so, you know, after this pain happens, you know, she's got these 3 swords that are laying, you know, on the bed, and then she's holding this one sword. So it's almost like these 3 swords are the ones that have come out during the rest and recovery. And this single sword is like an Ace of Swords. It's a new beginning. So, you know, when we have an injury, like, we need to rest so that we can heal. And, you know, this Four of Swords is just saying like something new is coming. Don't even worry about it. Like, when, you know, give yourself time to rest, give yourself time to heal, give yourself time to just like recover, whatever that means for you. And that like a new beginning is there for you when you're ready. It's not like there's no need to hurry, there's no need to rush, there's no need to force. And it feels like, for some of you, it's going to feel like this Wheel of Fortune is what brought in this 3 of Swords. And for others of you, it's going to feel like this Wheel of Fortune is what's taking you out of that. So, and really it's at both ends, that like this Wheel of Fortune, like she came in because whatever this situation was that created this 3 of Swords, it was not for your best, highest good. And so, you know, she turned the wheel so that this ending could happen. The pain of it is not a punishment. Like it was a byproduct of, you know, that wheel turning, and it's not for the purposes of hurting you. It's almost to shake you loose of whatever that thing was that you wouldn't have gotten out of on your own, that job, that relationship, that habit. And that in the time when you're healing, you know, the time that you take to like heal and dream and rest and recover, once you're ready, once you're fully rested, once you wake up from your beauty sleep and as many naps as you want or need, then, you know, Wheel of Fortune is going to turn that wheel in your favor, to line you up with that Ace of Wands new beginning. And then we've got this gibbous moon card. You're very close to achieving your goal. So that's fun. And then sixth house sustainability. So 4 plus 4 is 8 in numerology. 8 is the number of abundance. 44 is also a master number. I can't remember what it has to do with. So you can Google that if you feel so inclined. But we've got like all the chakras aligned, lit up. We've got this giant mandala stained glass kind of thing out here that's got all the colors of the rainbow, couple arms, you know, and within this person is the whole universe, the cosmos. And we've got Wheel of Fortune and this sixth house, like they're in the same position, right? They're both in this lotus position. If we were to overlay them, we'd have arms up, arms out, arms down, right? If we could superimpose both of these images to line them up, it would almost be like this full arm thing, which is making me think of like Kuan Yin, the Bodhisattva Kuan Yin. It might be worth researching to look up Kuan Yin, just because the story might resonate for you. Also, Green Terra is coming through, maybe because the green, but also because Kuan Yin and Green Terra are very similar. Green Terra is in the Hindu religion and Kuan Yin is typically in the Buddhist religion. But with this sustainability, it's almost like you're being encouraged to care for your physical body in a different way, but also, you know, Wheel of Fortune pulled you out of this because it wasn't sustainable for you. I feel like you're very close to achieving your goal. I feel like it relates, but I can't see how, like I'm not picking up intuitively like how it connects. So this could be something a little bit separate. Like maybe you have a goal for yourself, or maybe you were really close to achieving something. You thought you were close to achieving something, and like this kind of derailed it. And so it feels like once like your healing and rest and recovery is done, like it's still within reach. Like just because this thing happened that caused an ending, it doesn't mean that your goal is out of reach. You haven't lost any progress. You haven't lost any time or space. Okay, now I see why it's here. I just had to wait for the messages to come in. Taurus, like that's what I'm seeing for you that's coming up with this full moon in Sagittarius. So for some of you, you might have already experienced this, and you might just be in this rest and recovery phase, you know, so that full moon in Sagittarius energy is saying like take all the naps, get all the rest, hang out in all the cozy pajamas, because we know Taurus likes, y'all are about cozy, and I'm here for it. I love me some cozy. For others of you, like you might be coming into this disappointment around the time of this full moon, and just know that it is for this ending is for your highest good, so that you can come into a new beginning that is going to be just cosmically aligned, magically aligned. And whatever progress you've invested, like you haven't lost it with this ending. Yeah. So Taurus, that has been your full moon mini reading. So I just want to say thank you for being here, and I hope you have a lovely full moon in Sagittarius. Bye. Hello, Gemini, and welcome to your full moon in Sagittarius reading. So I have pulled 2 cards for you from the Wandering Star Tarot, as well as a Moonology card and an Star Code Astro Oracle card. That's a mouthful. So let's look at your tarot. Okay. Okay. So we have the 3 of Swords. This card is about heartbreak, sorrow, and grief. So this card is also about disappointments. It feels like there's something that you have been dealing with for a while, that's been really heavy on your heart. Like this was pretty big. Like whatever this disappointment or this heartbreak was, it was pretty significant. And it almost feels like you were kind of stuck in it for a while. You know, we've got this person like eyes closed, arms down, like just really in it, you know, like, and this heart is a lot bigger, you know, it's bigger than a normal heart. Like it's almost covering up her whole chest, right? It's like, it feels like it's really big. It was really hard. And I'm sorry. Cause I get that. I've been in that before, and I've been in that for a long time before. So, I feel that. The good news with this moon in Sagittarius, we've got this Archer here, which is very Sagittarian because Sagittarius is represented by the Archer. But this Eight of Wands, which is good news, travel, but also quick action. Like, so something's going to happen. It's going to come in really quickly. There's going to be some good news. You might have some unexpected travel plan, like fun travel, even like a business trip that you weren't expecting, but it's going to be enjoyable. But it feels like you will very quickly be moving out of this. And it feels like this Sagittarius like full moon is going to be helping you with that. We've got this have faith in your dreams card. This feels like just really like a really gentle healing. And it's almost like I can't see, well, usually when I read tarot, it's like there's something tangible that needs to be done, right? That like, you know, I could read this Eight of Wands is like, you need to take a vacation, like you need to take a trip, or you need to whatever. But it feels like with this have faith in your dreams, like, and also this third house communication with these little birds, it feels like, and the flowers, like it feels like the healing is coming to you during this full moon in Sagittarius, like that, like there's nothing for you to do. It's just coming, it feels like it's like what it looks like for some reason. And I think it's because, Sagittarius and Gemini are, opposites, like they're on opposite sides of the astrology wheel. It almost feels like this full moon is facing you. It's facing Gemini, and it's almost like it's just kind of beaming this energy, this healing energy, you know, because like the moon is the ruler of Cancer. Cancer is the mother of the zodiac. And it almost feels like this full moon is really going to kind of be like this really loving, gentle, beautiful, like mama energy. Like it's just going to be like, it feels like this is so weird. Feels like the moon is going to be almost like doing Reiki on you. Like, I don't know if you know, Reiki is this Japanese energy healing practice where practitioners are attuned through kind of like a ceremony or really just like a ritual to facilitate Reiki energy. And I think of like, I'm attuned to do Reiki. I think of the Reiki practitioner as the garden hose. The Reiki is the water that flows through it. And the attunement is someone, you know, the spirit turning on the spigot, you know? So it's like, as a garden hose, like you don't have a purpose if you're not connected to the spigot and if the spigot's not on. But also the practitioner doesn't, like Reiki doesn't work because of the practitioner. Like Reiki just is. Reiki is this healing energy. And so, the practitioner that's attuned, that is a garden hose that's been turned on, is able to transfer, you know, to kind of transport or direct or funnel, you know, that Reiki healing energy specifically to a person or, you know, a location or even like one specific part of the body, or their cat, which like I do Reiki on Ben all the time because he likes to jump on things and he gets little sore shoulders. But it feels like the moon is almost like, and I keep doing this with my hands because when I do Reiki, like I don't always physically touch people, but I'll put my hands like really close to them. Unless it's Ben, then he gets a little kitty massage, but, okay, this is weird. But it feels like the moon is kind of holding, it's like focusing, it's sending you this healing energy during this full moon in Sagittarius. Like it's the moon's just like healing your heart. And like with this sun in the background, it's, the eyes are closed, she's facing away, like you can't see that there are really beautiful, bright things that are coming for you. And that's okay. You don't need to see them for them to come. They're there. They're going to come, but it's like until your heart is ready, like you can't receive them. And so it feels like the moon is like, okay, I need to heal this heart. Like the universe has really amazing things in store for Gemini. And so my job as a mama moon is to send this healing energy to their heart. This third house communication, like if there are things that you need to say to the person that hurt you, I would encourage you to write a letter and then burn it, because this Sagittarius energy is fire energy. And so that could be a really beautiful practice for you to transmute that energy, taking those, the words or thoughts or whatever of your pain and putting them down on paper, getting them out of you, and then burning them transmutes that energy and it releases it. It changes it and it releases it. But the biggest part is that it's getting it out of you. If that feels like it resonates for you. Like, I'm not giving you homework. I'm just saying that might be something that's helpful. For others of you, like if you are not really like a journaler or a writer, if you just want to speak those words. But I feel like fire is powerful. So even if you want to get a candle and you want to speak those words, you want to talk to the candle, if you want to speak those words into the fire and allow that fire to transmute it, that might be really helpful for you too. Might be really healing. But even if you don't do any of those things, the moon is still going to be doing some Reiki on your heart and infusing lots of love and healing energy to you during this full moon. So the full moon, like the moon will start to become really full on the 23rd and it moves into Sagittarius on the 24th. So you can start this if you want to do like the journaling or the speaking process, or even if you want to invite the full moon to just start healing you early, you absolutely can do that. Like as it gets more full, then the healing will become more intense. Or you can just allow yourself to receive, that healing that comes in. Like you don't have to do anything if you don't want to. But just some options for like how you can kind of work with it if that feels good for you. So Gemini, that has been your full moon in Sagittarius mini reading. So, I'm with you. I'm sending your heart lots and lots of tender love. I'm going to send you guys some, some Reiki tonight too. Before you even see this, before the video probably gets uploaded. But yeah, I want you to know that you're loved. Yeah, that's coming through really strongly. Like you are very, very loved. And there's lots of love that's coming for you. And it's coming really fast. Like it almost feels like fairies, like little pink Cupid looking fairies that are like kind of like they're swirling around you, but it's almost like your pain has made like this a little bit of like this film around your aura and you can't hear them. But I feel like they're like in my mind, what it looks like is they're kind of like flying and giggling and like they try to get close. Like these, this is kind of weird. Like these little fairies like want to give you kisses on the cheek. And they can't get close enough because of this, almost like this, the film that this like sadness has kind of put over you. And so I feel like as the healing happens with this full moon, like you're gonna start to feel some giddiness. So if you feel a little bit of giddiness, if you're like extra giggly and it doesn't make sense, that's your little Cupid love fairies that are around you, like giving you little kisses. Like I feel like they're so ridiculous. Like like they're not ridiculous, but like they're the cutest because they just love you, you know, and they're just like, oh, we just want to give Gemini all the kisses because they're the cutest, the sweetest, we just love them. And like, I feel like if you could have a fairy fan club, that is what these little Cupid fairies are to you. Like they just, yeah. And I think part of it is that like they want to be able to offer you healing, but they're not powerful enough. And I feel like if they could, they would, you know, if they could have healed your heart, they would have. But you know, the moon is going to be giving you, oh, I'm going to cry. The moon is going to be sending you a lot of like heart healing Reiki. And, oh, sorry, I don't usually get emotional during readings and I'm feeling like really emotional. The moon is going to be sending you a lot of heart healing, and like these little Cupid fairies that are around you, like gosh, like this is so weird. Sorry, this is like the weirdest thing. They have like little band-aids, you know, and they're like, it's almost like they're flying around and like they wish they could just put little band-aids over, you know, it's almost like when the moon does the healing, it's like, this is going to remove the swords, and like your little Cupid fairies are like, we have the band-aids, we're going to put them on, you know, like it's almost like they are nursemaids for your heart, that also want to give you a lot of kisses on the cheek. Like I said, they're like a little bit ridiculous, but I feel like it's just such beautiful, lovely energy. Like it just feels like cotton candy, pink clouds, and like I don't even know. I don't know how I don't have words to explain it, but it's just, ugh, I can't wait for you to feel it. Like you're just so loved. You are so ridiculously loved. Oh gosh. Okay. I need a tissue. But that has been your reading, Gemini, for this full moon in Sagittarius. And again, my heart is with you. Your Cupid fairies are with you. The healing is coming. Things are going to shift really quickly. And yeah, and it's all going to be okay. So I just want to say thank you for being here, and that I am wishing you a beautiful full moon in Gemini. Bye. Hello, Cancer, and welcome to your full moon mini reading. So this is for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mars, Mercury, North Node, Pallas, Athena, like what I don't know, all the placements. If you have anything in Cancer in your chart, if you know a Cancer, if you love Cancers, as a Cancer Sun, I appreciate it. I've been on TikTok a lot. You guys know, if you have watched my other videos, you know that I get sucked into the wormhole that is TikTok. And so I made it to astrology talk. I feel like I've been to like all the weird parts of TikTok. I was on the Call of Duty TikTok. I don't know how that happened because I do not play Call of Duty. I didn't understand what was going on. I'm like, who's Ghost? Like, why are there 17 masked dudes named Ghosts? Like, what is this? Oh, and then I made it to the spicy book talk. Definitely have been on the Palestine Gaza part of TikTok, and just, yeah, college campus protest TikTok. Like, it's amazing to see like how powerful and how beautiful human beings are when we come together. But I made it to the side of astrology TikTok, where they have like these charts of like, I don't know who made this because it's garbage, but it's like a list of every sign with genders, right? So like Aries man, Aries woman, but it's not in order. It's like in this pecking order of like elite to like mid to like bottom tier. And I feel like Cancer women are like way down there. So I feel like, you know, there are people that like do not like Cancer placements. I feel like it's oftentimes people that have Cancer placements, but I just, you know, I feel like Cancers deserve a little extra love because we are, you know, like yes, we are the crab, you know, but like we have a soft underbelly, you know what I mean? Like over his heart space, he doesn't have, it's all exposed. He or she, they, there's, you know, there's these big hard, you know, shells, but like there's nothing over the heart space. We have tender pink marshmallow hearts. Okay. I don't know why I'm trying to convince you, you know, or if you're cross watching for a Cancer, like we can be a little hard on the outside, but we are, you know, we're delicate little babies. So it'll be nice to us. And on to your reading. Okay. Ooh, 2 of Cups. We like this. We love love as Cancers. 10 of Cups. Stop it. Stop it. Come on. Okay, so you are you're coming into union with someone, or if you are already dating someone, this is a very beautiful, strong connection. This is a partnership. So if it's new, it's going to grow into something serious. For those of you that are not interested in love, this can be friendship. This can be business partnership. This can just be connections with someone else that like, they're just like deeply fulfilling, right? Like these feel like soul connections. So this could be soul tribe, soul family, soulmate, divine, cosmic, magic connections. And it's very much a happily ever after. This is like longevity. This is fulfillment. This is family, you know? So for those of you that are interested in romance, this is harmony, because when you look at this is like, it's like music, you know what I mean? It's like sheet music. All these cups are different notes. They're different colors. Like it's, it's like the full spectrum of love, right? Where it's like love that, you know, is the kind of love that, you know, is passionate. And then it's like the kind of love that friendships like come from, the kind of love where you have to give hard feedback to someone because it's for their best, highest good. Love where, like the kind of love where we make choices that are for the best of someone else and maybe not the most convenient for us, right? This is just like very like full spectrum love. So you are like, I feel like during this Sagittarius full moon, like you're going to connect with someone, and it's going to be this divine connection, and this is what it will lead to. So I feel like this is far in the future, you know, like this isn't like you meet them and then you guys run off to Vegas and get married 6 weeks later. No, this is like a gradual unfolding. But this initial connection, like you will feel it. That's how you will know that this is that divine connection that's leading to this. And I feel like for some of you, this full moon in Sagittarius is going to put the pieces in place for this to happen. It's almost like for some of you, okay. Those of you that are single, that are not actively dating, especially, like this full moon is going to really kind of be about laying the foundation of the house. Like the universe is like, okay, we got the plot of land, we got it leveled. Now we're going to lay the concrete. Now we're going to start to build the structure of the house, like, which is the house is like this connection. So it's almost like if you were single and not actively dating, the universe is like putting all the things in place to facilitate this connection. If you are dating, I feel like you are going to, or if you're actively social, if you're out in the world interacting with other humans, whether this is like love, friendship, business partnership, soul family, soul tribe, just connection. If you're out in the world, you're going to come across this person during this full moon, and like you will, I feel like if you're really social, you run into a lot of people, but like you will feel it. There will be an energy between the two of you. I think for some of you, this person is going to like make the first move, and like they're going to initiate that, like I'd really like to take you on a second date, or I'd really like to get to know you, or I'd like to just spend more time with you, or like, can I take you out on a date, or like, can we schedule a time to meet up and talk about business, or like, can I read your astrology chart, or like, can I see your human design chart? Like, there's going to be an offer, an invitation to connect in a deeper way with this person. And so for all of you, like whether it's just the foundation being laid or you actually like start to connect with the person, like this is where it is going. It's leading to a happily ever after for you. And so everybody's happily ever after looks different. So for some people, like that is a family and children. For some people, that's a successful business. For some people, that's finding that soul family where they fit in because they didn't fit in with their, blood family. This can be like friendship, like a best friend, like maybe you're looking for like a travel buddy. Maybe you're looking for a workout buddy, right? Like, whatever this happily ever after is for you in the connection that you're looking for, it's so, I feel like the overarching thing is it's so harmonious. Like it's easy. Even the hard stuff is easy, right? So like for some reason, like a travel example is coming up, and it's like, you go on a trip and like your travel buddy has booked the hotel, and then you get to the hotel and like they require the exact same credit card that was used to book it, and your friend doesn't have that credit card with them. And so like you end up putting it on your credit card, and it's like, there's a little bit of like, you don't express it at the time, but in your mind it's like, okay, like, is this something I need to be concerned about? And then like when you guys check out and like you get the final total, like your friend ends up just like Venmoing you the money, or like getting you the money. Or they're like, hey, I will pay for the next trip. I'm going to pay for the flight. Like they're very like, they're just like very responsible. They respect you. They understand boundaries. Like it feels like that kind of harmony, right? Like they don't put you in a position they don't take your kindness as weakness. Like they don't compromise your values. They don't make you feel compromised or used. Like it's just a beautifully balanced connection, So whatever you are looking for or open to in connection, like that's what's coming up. And so we have step out of your comfort zone, North Node. Okay. So for some of you that are avoiding human interaction, avoiding dating, you're being encouraged to get back out in the world. Not saying that you have to date, but definitely saying that you need to get a little bit more comfortable being around people. So take that for what it's worth. And then we've got Leo here, shine. Yeah. So This full moon in Sagittarius is really lighting you up somehow. Like, it feels like it feels like there's some kind of light codes that are being injected into you with this full moon. You are ruled by the moon, but I feel like it's going to make you very attractive and appealing to people. And if you're someone that tends to stay in your crab shell, if you just go out in the world, and you just energetically allow yourself to like feel open. Doesn't mean you have to talk to people, doesn't mean you have to do anything, just opening your energy up, opening your heart space up. You're going to draw people and you're going to attract people in, and you don't need to do any work, because Leo energy, like Leo is the sun, but also like Leos have this magnetism about them. Like, people are drawn to Leos, and I feel like that's what you're going to start to experience, which is really beautiful. Yeah, especially for Cancers, because we like to hide. So it's like it's really nice to have people take the initiative. And with so many planets in Taurus, like, this receiving energy, I feel like, is just a little bit more prominent for you. So allowing yourself to receive that attention, allowing yourself to receive any kind of recognition, compliments, just allowing yourself to receive whatever beautiful things come during this full moon, because there's so much love that's coming for you, which it's so beautiful. I just love it. The water, the cups is water, you're water, like, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I love it. Okay, Cancer, that has been your full moon mini reading, or your full moon mini reading for this full moon in Sagittarius. So I just want to say thank you for being here, and I am wishing you a beautiful full moon. Thanks. Bye. Hello, Leo, and welcome to your full moon in Sagittarius mini reading. So let's take a look at your tarot cards. Okay, we've got Knight of Pentacles and Ace of Pentacles. Interesting. Okay, and then we've got your commitment is being tested, first quarter moon, and midheaven pinnacle. So the midheaven is, if you're familiar with astrology, it is at the very top of your natal chart, which is why it's referenced as the pinnacle. Really like this kind of top spear, I don't know what it's called, with the flag on top of it. Like, this is your kind of like your North Star in a way, but not really. It's like the highest point that you're working towards reaching. It's like the highest focus of your energy. What I'm feeling, what I'm getting from these cards is that, like, you, during this full moon, like, you're going to be able to focus on initiating something new. Like, this Knight of Pentacles, I always think of the Knight of Pentacles as the farmer, and Ace of Pentacles is a new beginning, a new opportunity. So with this Knight of Pentacles, like, the farmer is very intentional. Like, farming doesn't happen by accident, and he's got this kind of sack over his shoulder. He's riding on a horse, he's in this field, and typically with the Knight of Pentacles, we would assume that this is filled with coins, but I feel like the farmer analogy, like, it just fits. Like, this is probably like a bag of seeds, or and he's kind of riding around the field to kind of see where does he want to plant whatever seeds these are, because you can't just plant anything anywhere, right? You can't mix strawberries and corn because they require different things, and the purpose of farming, of planting, is to be able to sow the harvest of whatever grows. You want there to be success, and the reason that the farmer is so deliberate and so diligent is because his survival depends on his ability to grow things that either, he can eat or that he can sell. And so, with farming, I feel like it's very similar to gardening. Like you sort of need to make a plan, right? You have to pick out the spot where you're going to be planting things. And then you also need to determine like what kind of soil it needs, and how much sun and how much water and how much care and how much energy do you want to put into that. So I feel like during this full moon, you're really in this planning phase for this new thing that you want to manifest, or that you want to begin create. I feel like for a lot of you, this is a business. A lot of the Leos out there are looking at starting some kind of new business venture. You might be considering transitioning from working for someone else to doing like freelance work, consulting work, starting your own business, restaurant, like working for yourself, moving away from picking crops in someone else's field to buying your own land and planting your own crops and growing your own food. So it feels like, sorry, I'm looking at this Leo card. And we've got this lion here. He looks very, very determined, right? And it almost looks like he's the one that's holding this scepter that almost looks like a spire, right? Like it's very similar imagery. The top part looks like a chess piece, just like these, midheaven pinnacle things. But the lion isn't holding this. The woman behind the lion is holding it. But it feels like you've been through something where you're realizing what your power is. And like, to me, this feels like the universe. Like the universe is divinely guiding you through this process of really kind of evaluating like your resources, like your land, how much money you have to buy seeds, like the soil, the environment, like all these things, so that you can have the most success and abundance in this new opportunity, so that you can have the best, most abundant harvest when it comes time to sow, to reap the plants that you to harvest the plants that you have grown over the season, over the growing season. And with this Knight of Pentacles, like he's the slowest moving knight in the deck. Excuse me. Knight of Pentacles is very calculated and deliberate, and he doesn't rush into things. This Leo energy, this fire energy, there's passion and creativity and like the need to take action. And I feel like your commitment to the success, the long-term success that you want, that's what the test is right now. That's the part of your commitment that's being tested. It's almost like your patience is being tested. Your commitment to the planning process is what's being tested. But with this midheaven pinnacle, like there's no way that you can't not succeed. Like success is inevitable. Like the midheaven being the top of your chart, it's the highest point in your chart. Like you will reach the highest points of success that you want for yourself. And so the commitment that's being tested is your commitment to planning. But what I will say, it feels like a warning, but it also doesn't. The level of success that you want to attain is directly tied to the effort, intention, and planning that you put into this beginning process. So if this is like starting a new business for you, and like you aren't leaving your 9-to-5 anytime soon, and you're just kind of sort of figuring it out, like, let me start this will be my starter business, right? If it fails, like I'm not going to invest a lot. And so like, you might invest I don't know, 5 weeks worth of planning effort. And then what you'll get back is success that matches that. So I feel like because the two are related, really focusing or really like considering what the ultimate success is that you want to reach, right? Because success is different for all of us. Like for you, it might just be a success to go through the process of establishing your business. And so it's like there's not a lot of planning that you really want to put into it because you just want to get it established. And it's like, okay, great, you did the thing. But what is the point of establishing a business? The point of establishing a business is to make money from it. So if you just want to do it, then that's all you're going to get out of it. So if you are wanting to establish a business for the purpose of, having freedom of time or making a certain amount of money or, being able to help a certain group of people, like whatever your goals are, like the more time you invest in the planning part of it, that will directly correlate to how successful you are. And this is the energy investment. This isn't the amount of time, right? So it's like, if you spend 5 years planning this, it doesn't mean that like you're going to be more successful than if you took if you had the same intention over the course of that 5 years. This is not about time. This is about intention and energetic investment. And I feel like you probably already understood that. I don't know why I felt the need to say it, but in case you didn't, the amount of energy that you invest into the planning phase of this is directly related to the level of success that you will attain here. But either way, you will be successful. So, it feels like this is just a lovely full moon for you guys. Like that, it's a time of completions and graduations and culminations for us collectively. But it's almost like you're getting ready to take your master's classes while you're walking the stage to get your bachelor's. Like you're one step ahead, which doesn't surprise me. It's very like Leo energy, like wanting to, like create and succeed and shine and go and do the things, and be successful. So yeah, Leo, that has been your full moon mini reading. So I hope that you enjoyed it. And, I got one other thing. Because of this, kind of Leo and the universe guidance energy, you don't have to do this planning portion by yourself. So if you have someone in your life that's really good at planning or organizing or anything like that, like I definitely would reach out to them, because we've got with this Leo, and then this kind of goddess behind her, the lion with the goddess behind her. Like they're not going alone. They have, that divine guidance, but sometimes we need real world guidance. Maybe planning isn't your strong suit. Maybe you're new to business. So if this planning part feels overwhelming, just take that as encouragement that like, it might be a good idea for you to get some support, like get some kind of like, maybe a friend or a mentor or something like that to help you with that planning process. You don't have to carry that all by yourself. Yeah. So Leo, that has been your full moon mini reading. So I just want to say thank you for being here, and I am wishing you a beautiful full moon in Sagittarius. Bye. Hello, Virgo. This is your full moon in Sagittarius mini reading. So this reading is for Virgo, sun, moon, rising, Venus, Mars, Mercury, North Node, whatever placements, as well as if you want to cross watch for someone else. If you want to cross watch for a Virgo in your life. So I just need to pull 2 more cards for you, and then we will get into your reading. So let's see what we have. Ooh. Okay, so we've got the Hanged One and the Three of Pentacles. So the Hanged One energy is, sometimes it's about being stuck. Sometimes it's about stopping to find a new perspective on things. When we look at her, like, she's not tied up. Yeah, she's not bound or tied up. I was trying to look and see like if her ankle was tied, but the rope swing is tied. She's just kind of doing a little bit of aerial acrobatics in, you know, in this tire with her kind of gosh, what is this? I don't know what they call it, but like in like aerial yoga or whatever it is, like they usually have like some kind of fabric that they hang from. But we can see that like she or you or they are able to get out of this hanged position at any time. You know, all she needs to do is kind of reach up and get her leg out of there. So it feels like during this full moon in Sagittarius, you're going to take some time to kind of look at things from a different perspective. And yeah, it feels like this is a choice that you're going to make. But I'm also hearing that some of you, it's the new perspective is going to be brought to you. So there might be someone that mentions something or like says something, or you have a conversation and there's kind of this aha of like, oh, I didn't ever look at it that way. And that's going to encourage you to kind of get into the Hanged One energy. Like it's going to open your eyes to something, and then you're going to do a little bit more of a deep dive into kind of finding out more about like whatever that perspective was, or like learning more about it or understanding more about it. And it feels like it's going to change who you are in a way. And it feels really beautiful and positive, you know. It feels like something that, like when I'm looking at her face, like there's this look of like intrigue. She's looking at something that she's very intrigued by, that she's drawn to, that she's interested in, you know, this Virgo, this virgin. And it feels like that is the energy that you're going to have about this new perspective, where it's like you just need to know more. You need to understand more. And then with this Three of Pentacles, this is a card of mastery. So we've got, you know, this beekeeper, and, you know, it looks like they might be related, you know, and so this is really like the master teaching, you know, this young person how to become a beekeeper. Like this, you know, this person has mastered the art of taking care of these bees, and, you know, being able to collect the honey and like be in harmony with them. Because we've got the Three Pentacles here in that honeycomb. And it almost feels like either like you're going to have someone that's a master of something, or a mentor that's going to bring you to this new perspective, or like this new perspective is going to lead you to some level of mastery around something. So I feel like for those of you that have kind of an aha around a topic or subject or something with your career, it's going to lead to your own mastery. And for others of you, like having an aha around something new is going to be brought in by someone that, you know, is kind of a master of whatever that topic is. And then we've got this, the end of a tough cycle approaches, full moon in Capricorn. Beautiful. And a trine, sextile, symbiosis. Okay. I feel like I'm feeling two different messages. So for those of you that come to this perspective shift on your own, it's going to help you come out of a tough cycle that you've been in. It's almost like the culmination of the tough cycle. Like the aha moment is what closes out, like the perspective shift is what closes out this tough cycle for you. For others of you, like the ones that come to your aha by way of a mentor, like this, this mentorship, this relationship it's going to be really, really beneficial to you, and to them, you know, with this symbiosis, like a trine slash sextile, which are two different things in astrology. Like a trine is, you know, when there's a triangle aspect that happens, and then a sextile is when, you know, you have kind of this asterisk aspect that happens between planets on the chart. A trine is harmonious, in that, like, all the three energies work together really well, right? We've got this Three of Pentacles. A sextile is really kind of more good fortune that's coming in. It's something that, like, really brings this, like, positive energy to it. Like, this is, I feel like a trine is like, hey, we all get along and it's nice and we're in the groove. And the sextile is like everything falls into place, you know, where it's, because we see like all these, like, across the chart, everything is kind of connected in a really positive way. And so I feel like the trine energy is the harmony, the sextile is that symbiosis, right? It's that because we have a harmonious relationship, there's good things that come out of it for everyone that's involved. And it just, like, this feels, it feels really lovely, you know, because it's like, for some of you, like, this is going to be, well, actually for all of you, it's going to be healing. Like, this is going to be very healing on an internal level. This is going to be very healing, like, on a, it feels like a familial level. Like, it might not be blood family. It might just be some things around, like, what family means to you, that it's going to contribute to the healing around that. Like, if you have any kind of, like, family wounding, if that resonates, like, for others of you, like, there's this kind of difficult cycle that you've dealt with, kind of internally, some wounding. And really, I feel like you're just ready to be done. Like, you've been ready to wrap it up. And I feel like this full moon energy is like, okay, like, I'm here to help you. Well, and along with, like, the other planetary aspects, I'm here to help you wrap it up. Like, I got you. We'll take care of this. So Virgo, this has been your full moon in Sagittarius mini reading. So I hope that you enjoyed it. It was pretty direct and to the point and quick, but I feel like you guys like that, right? Like, organized, detailed, efficient, like, like, I like it. As a Virgo moon, I appreciate it. But yeah, this has been your reading. So I just want to say thank you so much for being here. And I am wishing you a beautiful full moon in Sagittarius. Bye. Hello, Libra. Welcome to your full moon in Sagittarius mini reading. So let's get you two tarot cards. See what Spirit has for you. Okay, 1 and 2, and then we will get you two oracle cards. So let's see what we've got here. Okay, we've got Page of Pentacles and Eight of Swords. Sorry, Page of Pentacles and Eight of Swords. Okay, so pages are messengers. So got a message about talent, skills, money. I love that this person has, like, the hair split down the middle, right? Like black and pink. I feel like this is very Libra, Libran. Also, you know, we've just got this pink hair here, which is, I don't know. I just love I just love all the cards. Like, what am I talking about? I love all the cards. I was going to say, I love the artwork. Yeah, I love all the cards. It feels like normally pages are a messenger to us about something, but to me, this feels like you. That, like, it's almost like during this full moon in Sagittarius, you are letting the universe know, like, hey, I'm ready for a new beginning, because this page is holding this pentacle, right? Which is a single pentacle is like the Ace of Pentacles, which is about new beginnings, new opportunities, new employment, like new opportunities to draw on resources. And so it feels like you're, like with this person holding it this way, it feels like you're going to be letting the universe know, like, hey, I'm ready for something new. I'm ready for a new beginning. Like, I'm ready for a fresh start. Like, I'm ready to move on and move up is what came through. And so this Eight of Swords, it feels like this is maybe where you have been for a while. And so the message is like trapped, anxiety, frustration. Eight of Swords it's a tough energy to be in, because, this person's blindfolded, they're tied up. Someone put them here. Something happened that got them into the space. Typically we don't put ourselves in this. Like, if this is kind of an overthinking, it would be Nine of Swords, but Eight of Swords it feels like something happened that got us to this place. And so, like, in this card, like, someone would have put the blindfold on her. Someone would have tied her up. Somebody would have dropped her here. And so without that clarity, there's this fear that's keeping her stuck. She doesn't know if the person that took her is still here. She doesn't know if it's safe to move. She doesn't know where she is. Maybe she can't reach the blindfold. Maybe she's too scared to kind of wiggle loose from, the constraints. And so it's a sort of like disempowered, stuck energy. And I'm feeling that, like, during this Sagittarius full moon, like, you are really kind of calling on the universe and the energy to set you free. Like, not to rescue you, but like, just get me out of here. It makes me think of Happy Gilmore, like when he goes to visit his grandmother and the lady jumps on the car and she's like, Mister, get me out of here. Okay, sorry. It's really random, but like, you're not panicky. You're just like, get me out of here. Like, teleport me somewhere else. Like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. Like, I've been stuck as long as I can be stuck. And either you're ready to break free on your own, or you're really just like, you're almost like you're calling in like air support. Like, okay, universe, come and bring a SWAT team to just get me out of here. Like, I'm over it. It's not this energy of like, oh, I wish someone would rescue me. You're like, no, somebody needs to come and get me right now. Right now. I'm so done with this. Okay. Surrender to the divine full moon. Come on. So, let's see. Okay. Ninth house exploration. Okay. And 47, 4 plus 7 is 11. 11 is a master number for manifestation. So it feels to me like you're going to ask, and this Eight of Swords, like, there's a lot of expectation around, like, get me out of here fast, right? Like, I'm going to ask you, universe, and I just need you to come get me. This is really important. It's an emergency. And the energy I'm feeling from the universe is this. It's a request / invitation to surrender to the divine, because this is happening for your highest good. Like, this is happening for you, not to you. And I say that because this ninth house is about like faith and spirituality. So essentially, like, you're ready for a fresh start. There's something you need to learn in this. So there's something that you need to learn in this like trapped, frustrated, anxious energy that you're in. And it might be that you need to learn how to surrender to the divine, to trust that like the universe will bring you out of this in the time that is according to the universe, in divine timing. And in the moments that like you are frustrated, you're like, get me out of here, I can't do this, I'm over it. The tool that you can use to support yourself is this ninth house, this spirituality, right? And the exploration, I feel like, is possibly exploring like what it means to be trapped, what it means to be stuck. Because sometimes we can feel stuck, and it's like our brain latches onto that, and it just runs this program of like, yeah, we're stuck, we're stuck, we're stuck, we're stuck, we're stuck. This is the worst. I hate it. We got to get out of here. It's annoying. It's frustrating. And in all honesty, like it's like the brain is making it worse. That like you're not really, you're not really in danger. You're not really trapped forever and ever. Like maybe you're not trapped. Like maybe you're just being asked to wait because something else is being prepared. And so I feel like that's where like this exploration and like kind of faith and trusting comes in, that like we can decide that like we don't like something and we want to get out of it right away, but because there's something you're meant to learn in here, like you can't spiritually bypass this. Like you can't ignore it, avoid it. Like if this is a situation that you have been in before and you've kind of coping mechanismed your way out of it, that's not an available option to you this time, because like this time you really need to learn whatever the lesson is. You really need to learn, like maybe it's about your value, maybe it's about your strength, maybe it's about your personal power, but there's something that you have to glean or learn or acquire or experience in this trapped, frustrated, anxious space, that like there's no other way for you to get that. Like this is the only lesson that will work. It's kind of like, I don't know, if you play a sport and you need to wear cleats, like there's not really a substitute for cleats. Like there's different types of cleats, like football cleats or soccer cleats or whatever, but like you can't buy a pair of running shoes and like, I don't know, try to put something in the bottom to like sort of make them like cleats. Like you need cleats. And so this is what it's like the universe is like, I get it that you don't like the way they feel and it's like weird to walk in them, and like they're kind of noisy and they're not super comfortable and they're kind of weird, but like these are the only shoes that will work. And I get that you don't like them, but like this is the only option that we had, So I feel like I say that in the times that you feel like maybe you're being punished, or that like something's happening that you don't really like, just know that like if there was an easier, more gentle way, the universe would offer that to you. But unfortunately, for whatever reason, for whatever divine cosmic reasons, like this is the only way. And yeah, I guess I say that in hopes that like it offers you some kind of comfort, that like if there was an easier way, the universe would have led you through it that way. But it feels like there's not enough time. Like there's not enough time for us to do it the easy way. Like there's something really important that you need to be doing on the other side of this. And I feel like a big component of getting closer to that big thing is learning how to surrender and trust the divine and have faith that all things are working out for your best, highest good, even when it doesn't feel that way. And it's like, I can say that and you can be like, okay, yeah, I get that. Like, I believe it, but like, it's not it. Like, this needs to be part of your like DNA code level belief system. and like your brain can comprehend what I'm saying, but like you haven't absorbed it yet. And that's really what's going on. So it feels like during this full moon, like you might be asking for just like the air evacuation from this. But also like this is an opportunity because the full moon is in Sagittarius and that Sagittarius energy rules the ninth house. Like this full moon is a perfect opportunity for you, if it resonates, to really kind of take a look at what surrender means to you, like learning more about surrender, like what trust looks like, learning how to trust more, and like what your faith is, like what do you put your faith in, like what is your belief system, and like how do you know that you really believe something, because I feel like that will kind of that'll help you through this, really understanding like how do we develop beliefs, and like what are my beliefs and what are the beliefs that aren't serving me, that are preventing me from learning what I need to learn in this situation. Yeah. So Libra, that has been your full moon mini reading. So I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that it proves to be helpful for you, because I feel like you're like, even though you've been in this, like you're really coming into it during this full moon. I hope that makes sense. Like, I think you're really getting to the point where you're like, okay, I'm ready to be done with this lesson. I think that's what the coming into means. And I just want to say thank you so much for being here. And I'm wishing you a beautiful full moon in Sagittarius. I'll see you later. Bye. Hello, Scorpio. Thank you for being here. So welcome to your full moon in Sagittarius reading. I am going to hold 2 cards for you from this Light Seers Tarot. And then I will pull 2 oracle cards for you as well. And then this reading is for, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mercury, Mars, North Node, as well as anybody that's cross-watching for a Scorpio in their life. Okay. Having a time with these. Come on, everybody. We can do it. We can do it. Can we do it? I don't know. Maybe not. Okay. Oh, I guess you get 2. All right. Okay, so let's take a look at your tarot cards. Okay, we've got the Magician and the 6 of Wands. You, my friend, this full moon in Sagittarius is going to really usher in like a really positive time for you. Like you're highly intuitive, really great at reading people, really great at perceiving things. I think that you're going to be coming into your power as a creator. I feel like typically water signs are creative, but I don't know that you think of yourself as a creative person in the context of what you're trying to manifest. And so like the things that you've been working on manifesting, like they're going to come to fruition starting around the time of this full moon. So you might see some things like that you have been trying to manifest, like come to light, come to pass during this full moon on the 24th of May, or it'll be shortly after. I feel like as we move forward as well, like moving on from, because it almost feels like for you this full moon is like a turning point. That like it's something that you're going to refer back to later and realize like, oh, that's when it shifted. And like, you'll be able to see, you'll kind of have this evidence for like how, starting at the end of May 2024, like all these things started happening that you had been working to manifest. And like, at first it's going to be things that like are either really small or things that you've been trying to manifest for a while. And then as the time goes by, like it's just going to be faster and faster. Like it'll be like really big things that like just kind of start to manifest quickly. So it won't necessarily be like let's say that you have a vision, or you have you're trying to manifest like becoming, I don't know, like a CEO. And let's say that you're like a regional manager now. And as you get farther into that, like manifesting, as you get farther after this full moon in Sagittarius, like these manifestations are going to happen faster. So you'll experience things like maybe you'll get a promotion from regional manager to like the next level up, right? Or maybe like, I don't know, VP of sales or something. But it's going to be things that happen through like a lot of synchronicity, and it's not going to be linear. So in this example, it's like you're a regional manager at one company, and then a position opens up for a VP of whatever department, and you apply for it and you get the promotion by moving to a different company. And then maybe you kind of move up to the next level because of someone that you met at a conference, or because of some random project that like you weren't really, like it wasn't really on your radar, but like when it came up, it was just like a hell yes for you, and you just kind of dove in head first, and it was like that made this huge impression, right? So it's not like, okay, I'm a regional manager and I want to be a CEO and this is my 12-step plan. It's like, you're kind of manifesting like, oh, this is really the level of success I'd like to get to in my career. And then like this opens and that door opens and that door opens. And it's like, you just kind of are following the, like, it's like the little Frogger game where it's like the frog just jumps, like you make him jump on the different lily pads as they come available. It's almost like that's kind of how you do things, right? So it's like, during this full moon, you're really coming to understand your power to create things, because that's what the magician does. He alchemizes, he creates something out of nothing. And like, you're going to be highly successful in manifesting and creating the things that you want for yourself. It's like this new way of being for you that the full moon in Sagittarius is going to trigger. Look at the bigger picture. Oh, full moon. What? See, I told you that this full moon is really significant for you, and you got the full moon in Sagittarius card. So yeah, looking at the bigger picture. And I feel like that kind of, I love the colors too. Like, I love when the colors match. I feel like this, looking at the bigger picture resonates in the message that like the way that you used to think about what a creative person was, or what creativity was a little bit rigid. And when you kind of zoom out, like you're going to see that like you've always been creative. And so just really kind of looking at like our social context of the word creativity, like a lot of people think of creative people as people that draw or dance or sing or make art, but it's like, there's lots of different types of creation, so like someone that is a chef is highly creative. They're creating dishes all the time. They are taking one ingredient and mixing it with another ingredient to create something completely different. Parents are creative, right? Because they have created human life. A carpenter is creative. Someone that is innovative is creative. Like, creativity is any time that you can take things that are separate and bring them together to make something new, make something else. And so I feel like as you learn who you are as a creative person, like that's going to be the biggest part of helping you see the big picture. Yeah, but this full moon in Sag is definitely it's significant for you. Okay, so we have progressions, journey, and imam coeli, which is root. I can't. Okay. 5 plus 6 is 11. 3 plus 8 is 11. So 11 is it's a master number in numerology, but also 11 is the gateway, the portal, the direct connect to the universe, right? When we think about the number 11, you know, it's like the two ones, and like this is, you know, this is two, it's a tunnel, it's a straight shot, it's a straight connection to the divine. And like even when we look at like, you know, this the roots of the tree, it's going up into this kind of cosmic center. Progressions, like a progress chart looks at the way that your astrology chart changes with each year that goes by. And so like the progression is almost like, gosh, how do I make an analogy to it? It's almost like, in a way, looking at like a forecast for something, but it's like if you have some kind of investment, you know, and like you go to your financial person and they're like, you know, well, this is the projection for this, for your retirement account, right? Like we're projecting that by the time you turn this age, you'll have this much money in it. And this is where we are right now, you know, and this is each progression that we're projecting based on the markets for this quarter, this year, this whatever it is. And so it feels like, you know, a lot of divine magical things, but you learning to see the bigger picture around like who you are as a creative is going to really help you see like not only how much you've grown and progressed, but also like where you're going, right? Because as you continue to move past this full moon in Sagittarius, like I said, those manifestations are going to materialize much faster. But also like you're going to see the stepping stones, the milestones along the way are going to happen faster. So it's like you're going to get almost like instant progress checks as you're moving through things. And then with this root, it feels like, this is counterintuitive. It feels like the more you connect to the divine, the more you're rooted in the truth of who you are. Because when we look at this, like the roots are like the, you know, this is really the only colored part, this like brown natural, you know, color. And as it goes up, it all turns to white. Like the sky loses the color, like it all turns to white. It all turns to divine. So it's almost like the more you continue to work with the divine and connect to the divine, the more rooted you become in who you really are. And I feel like a lot of this, like for some reason, like you really understanding like your power as a creative person, or the essence of you being a creator and a creative person, like that's part of something bigger. It's like the universe needs you to be rooted and grounded in who you are as a creator, because it's important for something in the future. And it's like these manifestations, like these things that you're able to manifest, like this is just like it's kind of like a really positive byproduct, right? Like let's say that you take up I don't know, biking, right? Mountain biking, let's say. And you realize you just like being in nature, and you like riding a bike on really bumpy terrain. And a really positive byproduct of it is that your mental health is improved. You've lost like 15 pounds. And you can't remember the last time you were really angry since you started mountain biking. So it's like, these are all positive things. Like you just started doing it because you liked it, right? That it's like, oh my gosh, this is fun. Finally, something fun. And then there's all these added benefits to it. So it's like you wanting to manifest things and being able to manifest things much more quickly, that's just a positive byproduct of you accepting your identity and your essence as a creator. And when I say like identity, I don't mean like quit your job and like make art. Like creation, you are the magician. So creation, alchemy is the essence of who you are. And I feel like conceptually, this is a little bit tricky to understand. But at the end of the day, the thing that you need to remember is that you can take two things that are not connected and put them together and work your magic to make a third thing, right? So it's like you can take bread and cheese and butter and you can put them all together to make a super amazing grilled cheese sandwich, right? And like that's not the only way that you can combine the three, right? You can just put the cheese and bread together and just eat that cold, which I mean, I don't know how hungry you are. It's kind of weird. Or you can just put the butter on the bread and eat that. And like, that's fine. Or you could put like butter on the cheese and eat that. That sounds weird, but like you can do that. But I think understanding that you have the ability to take separate things and combine them together and work your magic to make something really amazing. Like that's the essence of who you are. In case the label of creator or creative feels confusing or it gets you too much in your head, like the essence of who you are is taking separate things, combining them, and making something new out of them. So you just got to get used to that. You just got to accept that for what it's worth. But yeah, like the more you create and manifest, like the more you are tapping into the universe, because to manifest, like you need to partner with the universe. And I think that's part of it that like you don't even know that you're doing, but it's like this, it's that connection with the universe is like innate to who you are. It's always been there, like since you were little. And so I think that's why like the creative thing, it kind of gets you in your head, because you're like, well, like other people have a muse or they get inspired, and like I don't have that. Like I don't know, I just like make stuff, or I just create stuff, and like my process is different from everybody else's. So I'm not like them, and so that's, the labels and the identity, like, which, we already talked about. You don't have to use this and this and this and third, like that's all you need to know. But yeah, Scorpio, that has been your full moon in Sagittarius reading. I hope that you're excited, because this is really like just really like lovely, amazing energy. And I just want to say thank you for being here. And I am wishing you a beautiful full moon in Sagittarius. I'll see you later. Bye.